All right, welcome to the SquadOps 4Ops 1 couch. Today, Frost couldn't make it. He's doing some family stuff tonight. So, shout out to you, big man. Thanks for prioritizing family. That's what you should be doing. Hopefully, you guys are planning out something cool. I'm going to have a good time. Tell the wife I said hello. And I don't mean that in any way other than tell her hello for Fire that's got a smirk on his face right now.
Well, now it's weird.
This is episode number 10. It's a kind of a milestone for us. I think this is the longest we've ever had a podcast going with this Discord, so that's pretty exciting. And we've got some fun things coming up soon. We've got a streamer named Slay3K coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we've got the UE5 test server up and running. So if you guys are watching the podcast, you want to check out some new squad action, the new upcoming stuff that'll be here in the coming months, go check out our server on the playtest section of Squad. I think it's like a whole other game you have to download, but it's showing all the UE5 stuff. We've got Al-Bazar on a pretty good kind of zone, so you guys should be able to check those out as well. I don't know that we have really anything else as far as announcements. We've got some exciting, fun events coming up, and I know Sats has some other courses. I'm on my laptop right now, so I can't pull everything up in the moment. But anyway, long story short, check out our squadops.gg website calendar and see what we have to offer. See if there's something that finds your fancy that you want to play with. One new thing I will say that we kind of want to talk about a little bit is we are now doing Rust. So that's been a pretty popular thing for the last couple of weeks. I believe today we've had an average of like 30 people playing a wipe, which is pretty incredible. So if you guys want to check that out, again, join our Discord, join SquadOps, hang out, see all the new Rust content, see all that kind of stuff, and we're going to have a good time. Salt guarantees it. I don't know if he actually does or not, but I'm going to say he does. That brings me to the next point. Our guest tonight is Sultan Man. He has been a long-standing member of SquadOps for, I think, you're in year 4, year 5 now, so quite some time. He's made it to most of our meetups as well, which is pretty incredible. There's some guys that can't quite make it to meetups, but Salt makes it to most of them. He also helps us out a lot with our Armor Forger server stuff. He's been key and integral in getting that up and running, which has been great. We actually had our first kind of soft play test with that last weekend, and I think this weekend we're going to do some more. So again, Reforger, Squad, Rust, Gray Zone Warfare has been kicking off in the last couple of days. We've done some GeoGuessr games, all stuff that each and every one of you will probably have access to. So go check out those things. Check it out on our calendar, check it out on the Discord, and on social media pages as well. So we're streaming a lot of that action, a lot of that content. So be around, come hang out, come play. We'll go through and let Salt kind of introduce himself. Salt, do you wanna introduce yourself? Tell people how tall you are.
Oh yeah, my social security number, all that.
Your is
no,
your 3 measurements.
The fact that it's odd that I have her cell phone number and she calls me fairly often.
Yeah, that's weird.
That I get Snapchats from her on an almost daily basis.
Of animals, right?
She's in
animals and her. Animals and her.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah, so lovely. I'm sure we can just get the same ones. I'm Salt. That's
3 measurements.
That's all I got.
What is your inseam? What's your hat size for the ladies at home that want to know?
Oh, my inseam is 36.
What?
Well, that's your waist size and your inseam. So he's on 36 waist and his inseam is 36.
Jesus Christ, you're lanky.
Yeah.
He's all legs. He's all legs, just like the ladies' leg.
You are like 80% legs, 20% torso.
He's like that gal, Family Guy lady that's just all legs. That's
I know what you're doing.
You're like what, 6'1"? 6'2"?
I think maybe a
2.
Yeah.
Minimum. Fucking hell, you must be like 6'5" then on Tinder.
No.
He has a
I took my real height. And yeah, I would
Well,
You
lovely
you
to
can
go on. And
you
I
can
also don't end up ending up on Dateline anytime
Mm.
soon. So
you can filter on Tinder by height now. Do you know that?
Can you do
Doesn't
white? Yeah.
surprise me.
that's wild.
Hey, easy now. Easy now.
So we've
Just
got
just
height,
to ask him.
inseam, third last measurement. I think you know.
Oh, my weight? Oh, I'm like
No.
225.
Damn, you got a hog.
Right. So this
Centimeters.
podcast, I think Salt is okay with this, and Frost is cool with it because he's not here. And I believe Fire kind of implemented this thing. He wants to talk about guns. So
Gun
tonight
episode.
we're going to talk about guns. We're going to talk about all things gun related. That's kind of our TISM for like 3 out of the 6 of us here. I don't know how much input Lon will have here for us, but surely he'll have something. And we can go from there.
No, we're on YouTube. We gotta.
No, you can show guns as long as they're unloaded. Just as long as they're unloaded, we're good.
Show unloaded.
Yep.
So how will they know?
So that's the key. They'll never know.
As long as they don't go off, they'll never know.
Right. No accidental NDs. That's the key here.
That'll be his on-stream fails.
Right.
That would that would make the 10th episode.
For sure.
Just
that'd be our milestone. Yeah, desktop.
I could put a desktop in the Airbnb that I have right now. Just fire around through the roof. Yeah, that'd go over well, I'm sure.
Fuck it, we ball, as the kids would say.
And gaslight them, but like, nah, that hole in the roof was.
No, it was there when we got here.
Before.
I think your last. Did you even notice that? I think your last tenant left there. That's crazy.
So
I thought it was from
in
a
an
dog.
Airbnb, a different one, last night and the night before. I went to Pensacola, Florida, and which is kind of party central for some people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Right?
Yeah, I apologize.
Well, I wanted to take kids to the beach, right? So we decided we were going to go to the beach. What does it do the 2 days we're there? Nothing but rain and thunder. So we didn't go to the beach. We basically just hung out inside most of the day, and then went to like a couple little things they had around town when it was not pissing down rain. But I'm in basically central Georgia tonight, and I'm staying at this nice Airbnb. But this one's a lot nicer than the last one. The one in Pensacola, I went and checked the whole house out just to make sure there wasn't anything broken when I first got there. I go upstairs and I open the closet to the bathroom door. There's an empty can of Natty Ice sitting on the counter in there, and I was like,
beautiful.
This is definitely where the party kids go to hang for sure. Yeah. And then I went out and checked. The barbecue pit also doubles as a cigarette ashtray, which is real key.
Your last sentence of one of our people is what it's saying.
Right. Yeah. So this was cool. That was cool. I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite.
Sand cool.
Yeah. We're getting I think we're gonna get a barbecue pit or like a you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Fire pit.
Yeah.
Fire pit. Yeah.
Sure.
Now that we've already got the fence down in the back and we're starting the porch. I did everything I could to just make her wait, get a second opinion. She's like, no, he's coming on Tuesday.
Okay. So she just said, we're just doing this thing, and then after your opinion, is that what happened?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're getting some renovations done. We got quoted a very high amount of money to do it. I thought it was a little extreme, and I said, let's get a second opinion, and she said, no, not our money. I don't care.
That's not really how that works.
You guys share the house, right? So like you get an equal say in what's happening here. How?
No, I don't. I don't get an equal say.
Okay.
My opinion doesn't matter.
When she plays Minecraft the next time, we're definitely black bagging her. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. We got her.
Don't worry.
Welcome to the bag, bitch.
All right, so you guys want to talk guns?
Let's talk guns.
We want to talk guns. Did you end up buying the? Did you end up buying the Python, or did you?
No. Feeling pretty happy with myself right now.
Okay. That's good. You're letting yourself get run over by your sister, but that's a completely different topic. So
I can get over that. Honestly, the porch is gonna look sick. I just think we just paid too much money for it. That's what's gonna hurt. But
it'll look sick in the moment, but
is the cost worth it? Is the question?
Yeah.
And
We'll
then the $26,000 fence that they quoted you on, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it?
Well, the fence
is it diamond tipped? Do we have like?
Yeah. Do you see
do we have triple layer like aluminum electric fencing that's run through the whole thing?
We'll see. It's all heated in order so the fence doesn't get cold.
Oh,
Because if you're cold, they're cold. You can't bring them in.
Gotcha.
You'll see the meteorite and diamond Glock sights that were on sale the other day, $750.
I did. Those were actually kind of cool. If they made them for 1911s and they were under $1,500, I might consider buying some for my my Springfield custom professional that I bought a long time ago. That would be pretty sick, I will say.
That'd be pretty tight. I mean, I bet it works. I bet like diamond's bright, right? So you would see it. Hopefully, but
Brianna shine bright like a diamond. Let's be real here.
Amen. And then somebody else is about to get bright shined.
It absolutely shined on.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. All right, so what's your favorite gun that you own today? Right now, what's your favorite gun?
Rate them by taste.
Right now, like
there's only one answer. There's only one answer. There's only one answer.
I want to answer it wrong just because it'll piss you off.
Yeah, rate them on. What's your favorite gun based on mouthfeel? Yeah.
Mouthfeel?
Yeah.
Can't do that.
No, let's not do that on stream. Let's not on stream.
It tastes like cottage cheese and carbon.
Sorry, I'm gonna be coughing this whole time.
YouTube, it's clear, so it's clear. There's no magazine.
Oh, that looks really oddly familiar.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. Really? That's crazy.
Hold on, crazy. Turn my blur off, and you can see it better.
But then we'll see your
my fucking camper. Yeah, like
your RV.
Whatever.
Well, in chat, I'm going to be able to triangulate your position based off of the angle of the sun path shining through. Yeah.
But this is my 6.5 Creedmoor built by one Captain Morgan.
Yeah, that's right.
It's currently zeroed at my elevation for 600 yards or meters.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know what Morgan uses to zero it, but shoots like a fucking champ.
Once you get to zero in.
No. It's staying zeroed at 600. My elevation. It's money.
There's a ballistic calculator that'll tell you your max point blank.
You just got to hold 3.5 mils down for 100 yards. That's it. It's not that hard to remember.
As long as your scope has upward mils, yeah, you're good.
It does, because it's a very fancy. It's a very fancy optic.
Expensive scope.
It's one of two that I bought, and he happened to get one of the two that I bought from a really cool company called Calls or Cal.
Oh yeah, he got the extra one of that.
Yeah,
call me baby.
It'll be at Hog Hunt.
I'll be damned if I can remember how to pronounce that, but it's there.
I think it's Kales. I don't know.
Something like that.
I thought it was Collis.
Calisthenics?
Something.
It almost just fell off the side of my desk.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that was not an easy build. That took a long time to blueprint everything correctly and get everything set up so that it was functioning properly with all of the stuff Salt wanted on there. And then his for some reason his chassis didn't want to sit on there right. So there's actually different there's different bolts in there than what comes stock, which is quite entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
If it works, it works.
That's right.
But, yeah, I sighted it in to 200 yards, dead set zero. It held a 3/8 inch, so 3/8 inch circle for 10 shots, which is pretty impressive.
That is very impressive.
I did a full wire test on it. Found the rounds that shot the best, and then I made some pretty spicy rounds for him. Which I don't know if you fired any of the spicy rounds, but there
was none in the mystery bag. I was very disappointed.
They're a little hot, we'll say.
Yeah.
There was none in the mystery bag.
Oops, all powder.
No, like
sorry, Mr.
Right
ATF.
at the edge of Sammy spec for that particular cartridge. I mean, right at the edge of Sammy
Real
spec.
close.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like if they're rated for 65,000 psi, it's probably 64,500 psi in that one cartridge. Would be my guess. It's
They're a little warm.
She's muy caliente. We'll say.
Yeah, he walks in right, and he's like, "This is for you." I'm like, "Okay, thanks." It's the gun, and he's like, "This is like screaming rounds," and there's like 3 of them. He's like, "These maybe don't shoot those. like maybe just don't shoot them at all. But you'll be fine if you do. But just maybe don't."
You have an option. Should I shoot them? Well.
Yeah.
Well.
So when I did
not shoot them.
When I did my testing on it, those at the muzzle for 142 grain hollow point bow tail came out at 2,751 feet per second. Standard load, it's like 2,670 feet per second. So they're about 100 feet per second more.
That's a little warm.
Accurate. They have a spread to them. If you really have to smack something with 100 feet per second extra out of a 140 grain cartridge, like it'll do the job.
That's good.
As designed.
Yeah. Usually,
the nice thing that I have going for me on this build is that I've actually done a very similar rifle for this one. My own personal rifle that I have in 6.5 Greenmore is based off the same chassis and whatnot, so it was fairly easy for me to be able to pattern and do comparatively. Now, if I try to do something different, it'll probably come out different as it does every time. But for now, it's working fine. So
good.
Yeah.
You planning on doing like any PRS or anything with it?
Actually, the range in our NRL hunter. No, I'm not
NRL.
that good. There is a local PRS match twice a month, about an hour away.
That's
So
nice. I get
might
one
just
like maybe
go-
one every 3 months. So
Yeah, I might just go
that's
send
definitely
it
worth it.
and just fucking raw
Send
dog
it.
it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
See how much I suck.
Hey, we all start somewhere.
Yeah.
And once you suck, you can talk Morgan into teaching a
I don't have
class.
I don't have a problem doing a PRS course.
The problem is I need
PRS
to
for many years now, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's one that
I need to just go
it's
out
one that
there.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
As we talked about before during that last hog hunt that we attended, that's one of the shots that I'm most proud of as far as shooting a target.
The side angle on the steel plate.
Yep, side 3/8 inch plate, hitting it at like 550, 600 yards. I felt pretty good about that one. Probably shouldn't because it was all complete luck, but you know what? I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Shooting is like 30% luck anyway.
Right. I mean, the circle on that should have been somewhere between like an inch and 3 inches, depending on how accurate that thing is, and
it's pretty good.
It shot okay. It shot fine. I mean, I was a little high in the first round. It skimmed the top of the plate. The second round hit dead on, and
it was a classic. It was great. Yeah, and then I sold the rifle, and I'm gonna have to live with that for the rest of my life, probably. I think
for the rest of your life in regret.
Here's the thing: you sold that rifle so that you and I could build a rifle together. That's the key.
And then didn't.
Yes.
Have not. I immediately, like, as soon as I have money, I immediately have something come up that makes me have to pay for it. I think that one was medical bills. So stupid. I went to the ER. I had some pain. Anyway, I went to the ER and the lady was like, "All right, now." The lady doing the billing at the ER was like, "All right, now don't be worried, but your copay is $6,500." I was like,
Jesus.
Okay.
You guys take loans or after pay?
How am I not supposed to be worried when you say the word?
Yeah, it's like
$6,500.
now don't be worried, but your copay $6,500, but you don't have to pay it. But your copay is $6,500, and I was like, yeah, let's just let it ride. We'll see what happens.
Anybody as well who opens the sentence with "now, don't worry," it's like I
Now,
wasn't
don't worry
up
about
until
this.
now.
You're gonna be fine. Now, listen, you're gonna be fine, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's not a problem until it is a problem, but
yeah.
That's right.
However,
It's like vets, like vets when they're like, "So, how much do you love your animal?" Like, fuck.
like, you really like them? You have insurance
Yeah.
on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pet insurance is a big
Yeah.
business.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
No, yeah, it was. I think
expensive,
that was
although-
literally like a month. I was like searching around for night vision, I think, at the time, and that one came up. That was great. Great timing.
Yeah.
Grape.
Yep. I think I ended up paying like $2,500 for hospital bills. Shout out.
Jeez.
Yeah,
shout
I might not have
shout out to
a-
American Healthcare.
Which medical center are we shouting out to now?
The one from Ready or Not? Is it that one? Is it
Yeah.
that one?
The Miami-Dade Correctional Facility infirmary. No, it was yeah. Shout out to American Healthcare System. I love that shit. So great.
It's wonderful.
It's grape. Grape.
It's best there is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
just think of all the industries propped up right now by the American Health Insurance. Like you got GoFundMe, bankruptcy attorneys,
Kickstarter probably.
Kickstarter probably. Yeah, it's great.
Patreon, pretty much any like service that just accepts money. It's just like
Yeah. So anyway, this is an M16A4. Because you
Back
can
to
see
the
we are
segue.
clear. We're clear. All right.
Got the okay. I got a dog on you because you have blue painter's tape instead of like some fucking duct tape.
Look, this is
I know
clone
why
correct.
it's there.
Clone correct, okay?
Okay.
I do have the nice speed tape on the mag.
Nice.
I just make that little fake
Your
puller.
100-mile-an-hour
Do you
tape.
need
And you
some
know-
whale jizz so you can accurately, lubricate your machine guns? I can do that if you want.
Yeah,
Welcome.
I'm running green tips because
Hmm.
green tip, just in case. So I do have the ready mag in the back here.
Okay.
Nice ACOG with the Manicore, which they don't make anymore. What is this? Macedon Defense Cram.
Yeah,
So
that's an oldie
that
but a
one
goodie.
has the
And obviously the broom handle, and she's a goodie. I do have the got the Marine Corps bayonet too for it.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
I was about to say with the
I-
bayonet.
I was going to offer only for pictures, but I was going to send you my EK commando knife that my grandpa bought me when I joined the Corps before my first deployment, so you could put it on there and take some pictures. But if you got a genuine Marine, yep, there you go, oldie but a goodie.
Genuine M8A1, I think.
Mm.
The
Sounds right.
OKC3S.
Yeah, the OKC3S. Yeah.
She's a classic. Did see these on sale on some website for like $150 the other day. It's like pretty good.
Let's
Still-
see.
Grunts lost it. He just needs to make money.
They'll need to get some sort of like laser aiming device that show up to someone's house. But we'll see whenever that shows up.
That is going to be harder than anticipated, my friend. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of problems with that particular concept.
Mm.
And they're not easily fixed. We'll talk offline.
All right.
I was just gonna segue that like. So anyways, if you want the ATF to show up to your house,
No, it's not the ATF. It'll be.
It's not.
Never mind.
Yeah. You go
it's
ahead.
nobody
down.
important.
When you buy one of when you buy one of these, make sure you fill out your paperwork correctly, or some lovely people
what is
will
it,
make sure you show up.
Texas allows people to buy Texas-made suppressors.
Oh yeah, without a tax stamp. I think you're filing. Yeah, this is a Surefire RC3. It's pretty cool.
Why buy it when
shoots
you can just 3D print them?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
That was
You can
3D
do
printed,
it.
isn't it?
You can 3D print
You
them.
can
I've seen
do
people do it. You still have
if
to
you
pay a tax
believe.
stamp on it, but you can
Once
3D print 'em.
again, you could do it
No
for
one has to know. It can be our little
cheaper,
secret.
but I'm not gonna get
Mhm.
into that on the internet.
Yeah.
Our little secret.
RC3 though, it's a good pickup. I think they're pretty loud. I think all the
yeah, just
flow
for
through designs
info,
are very loud.
it has a little bit of pop to it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was my first suppressor. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Not a bad one.
Like the Huxworks, the like PTR vent, the LBP Velos from Silencer Co. Like all the flow through designs are not very quiet. Like you can either get low back pressure or like a quiet can.
It's to
I
help
mean, with 556 it doesn't matter
not have
because you're not
cancer.
even quiet it that much.
No, if you're running a suppressor, nothing beats the MP5 SD. Fucking
Yeah.
good.
Shout out.
Unless you want a gun
Little-
that doesn't run, then just
Mm.
get an MP5 and put a suppressor on it.
Doesn't run. MP5's
Which works
tits.
better.
My favorite
MP5
gun.
SD is different when putting a can on the MP5. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. You get the one that's designed to be the sneaky little bully.
Mm-hmm. I've thought about there was somebody the other day was selling the Century Arms MKE AP5 with an SD kit on it, and I was like,
That's not bad. What were they asking?
No.
Like $4 grand, 3,500?
I think it was 25.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
It's a Turkish
Yeah,
MP5.
but still, with the kit and everything on it, that's
Yeah.
a pretty solid deal for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I really want like an integrally suppressed, like PDW type shit.
Mm.
You know, I was looking at the B&T SPC9. I think they have an SD version of that.
I have a let's see. I have a TP9.
Mhm.
I have a USW, the original USW, not the A1 or the
Yeah.
E2 or any of those, but the original USW.
Mhm.
And I have what's their 45 version? Who's their
Oh,
competitor to the UMP?
Is it the GHM or is it the APC?
It's
APC.
APC.
I
They
have,
did make a 45 of the GHM.
That's not bad. I have the
APC 45.
APC 45, which
Yeah.
honestly is a really nice gun. The TP9 I think is cool in theory, but unless you're really running it with a stock, it's not worth getting. And then also running it non-auto, it has like an 18-pound trigger. It's absolutely horrendous. The USW is a really cool concept. Having something that can change from a pistol to, an actual like subgun is really cool. And it just run it in a drop leg holster, and it's actually pretty comfortable. But the problem with it is that it's not a good pistol, and it's also not a good subgun.
Yeah.
Making it a Roni Arm style like chassis for the firearms was a really smart way to go for them, because it opened up the demographic to a larger number of people that don't necessarily want to go out and spend MP5 money, but they're willing to spend a little more money on a better chassis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they started making the chassis for like the Glock 17 and the SIG and all them, which is pretty good. I like the Flex is decent, but like these have like a integrated like Picatinny for the rear sight that isn't attached to the rail or isn't attached to the slide, so it stays put while the slide moves.
Yeah.
That's actually
We should really
it's a whole lot better.
be pulling up pictures as we talk about these
Jamie?
guns, so people are.
Jamie.
Did you know that recently Glock started just making OEM like Glock cut slides for sale?
Yep.
Finally, after like 7 years, they're just like, okay, yeah, no, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Could have saved me a lot of money like 3
Mhm.
years ago, but whatever.
We finally got
Yeah,
the
I
6
wish
hours into service. We're gonna play with one of them
Oh
the
yeah,
other day.
the
That was
M18s. What are y'all calling them?
The ones you shoot yourself in the leg with, or
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they can't all be perfect, but look, we have gone now from there were two service pistols. the Browning, which is like the old grandpa, and like some of them are probably still from fucking like the 1940s.
It's still a phenomenal
it still
platform, though.
shoots.
It's still bangs.
It's still a phenomenal platform for sure.
Yeah, but we've now gone from that into the future to like, here's every pistol that comes with a sight, and just everyone's like, ooh, and I get to be the old man being like, I used to have iron sights. Like, yeah.
One of the guys
When kids fucking all these like young grunts coming in with fucking like, oh yeah, cool, we get to use the fucking L clan or whatever. I was like, dude, we had donuts for years, donuts, nothing but donuts.
Iron sights,
SDG, yeah,
iron sights to 600 yards, iron sights, and the people are like, they can't shoot it without an ACOG on it. It's like,
you fucking pussy.
To be fair, the 600, like I think the 600-yard target was fucking massive, but
right, but still,
yeah.
I mean,
it gave you the impression that you could shoot at the 600.
So there's two different categories for it, and I remember that I don't remember the actual names, but one's like individual fire, so like being able to hit a single individual is like the rating for an M4 is like 475 meters or something like that, and then an area effect for that weapon is like 607 meters or something like that. So you're not really hitting a single individual at that distance. You're hitting
an area,
an individual and his buddy standing close by.
Yeah,
that's the thought process there. I have to actually look up the terms because I'm sure someone's gonna
did not duck.
Like effective range and then like area effect or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah, the beaten zone. Well, that's machine gun.
Let's see. Point targets, so individual, and then area targets. That's the actual moniker there. So area targets is 600 yards. Point targets is 400 yards. It's interesting that they limit it to 600 yards, and I get why they do it for like an M4 or an M16. I have a 223, which again I'm traveling, so I can't pull out any of my cool guns. I only brought two with me. I brought my Glock and I brought my medical bag revolver.
The coup de grace, yes.
Yeah, the coup de grace, yeah, the combat master. Remington made a really fantastic, I don't know if they still make it or not, but they made a really fantastic stainless steel bull barrel bolt action rifle, Remington 700 short action in 223. And I've hit targets out to 1,000 with that fairly effectively. Now, it's not great. I mean, you're hitting a 10 to 12 inch target at 1,000 yards, but it's still, can reach out and actually punch something at that distance.
You can do it with a semi-auto if you just got,
right, but
enough scope and barrel.
And when you boil it down to that whole like mil spec thing, like people used to think mil spec was like the cat's meow, when in reality mil spec is like the lowest bidder to do the thing we want them to do, and that's it.
Oh, it's a mil spec receiver, but like how their tolerance is on it.
Right, and they're like, "What tolerances is within mil spec?" Okay, there's a range here.
Like you can hear my receiver like moving.
Oh, yeah,
I mean that's like it's
fine.
It's intolerance.
It's fine. Hey, it's where your lands and grooves meet the round. Is that's the pivotal point that makes a difference.
Yeah. It lets the dirt out more effectively if it's out of spec. That's why AK's much good. Is
those are sand cuts actually.
Lose out some of that chloro oil that you're just stuffing in there. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it can make sure that all the CLP stays on the bullet, right?
Jesus.
Sand cuts. Yeah, they're sand cuts.
I actually would like to get a sand cutter BCG. Not that I have any business needing one. Living in Texas where I live.
I mean, you're the closest to desert than all of us, so.
What?
That's true.
How close are you to desert, Ozzy?
I think you're in Australia. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
I'm actually probably a couple hours away.
You're like what? 8 hours, maybe? So 8 hours from a desert, maybe?
Yeah, hard desert. No, I'm like 6.
15 minutes.
Hard desert.
Okay.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like really, like fucked up, like desert.
Yeah.
It's like 6.5 hours. Yeah, the middle of nowhere, just
Definitely
West
close.
Texas, and it's flat and ugly and smells like sulfur and everybody's dirty and grimy. It's a great place to go through.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll
But
be
hey,
going down there.
BLM
in
land,
December.
you can go shoot wherever you want.
East Texas,
So-
not West Texas for the trip.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Yeah, don't worry.
I
You'll be
don't-
picked
I
up
don't-
in
I don't
style.
Texas.
Oh yeah, you'll be cruising. You be swinging on fofos.
Ice is waiting for me. It's like that one right there. That one.
You
please,
ruined
get
it.
him.
That was already my plan.
That was our surprise, dude.
I was gonna get our Turk from Afghanistan named Johnny to dress up with a full turban and the whole manjammy outfit, and
We
then
get
just
him,
meet you at the airport.
He could be
I'm sure
holding
that'd
the.
go over. I'm sure that'd go over well with customs immigration for sure.
Yeah, he could be holding the Bucky's Caliphate flag, the Bucky's ISIS flag.
Yeah. I stopped at a Bucky's today, and my
Mhm.
girls have not been to a Bucky's before. All the road trips I've taken them on, we've never crossed a Bucky's for some strange reason. Don't ask me how.
So they've been christened on the brisket boards. That's good.
Well, we were driving up through like Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, right? And we were on some back road highway, and I see a sign, and I haven't seen one for like a rest stop in a while, and it was like Bucky's Travel Plaza. So I was like, okay, cool. As I'm getting closer, the traffic gets worse, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Must be like some construction up here. No, it was like a 10-minute wait to get off the off ramp in the middle of nowhere. 10-minute wait to get off the off ramp. It was 15 minutes to drive through the parking lot to get to a fuel stop. And if you know what a Bucky's is, there's like 200 fuel stations at a Bucky's.
Yeah.
Not an exaggeration. And then we go inside, and there's probably, I'm gonna say 800 people in that store, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. At the checkout counter, where like the one entrance exit for the checkout counter, there were probably 100 people conglomerated around there, and there was like a pathway 3 people wide between all of them, or like one typical Bucky's patron wide, right? That the Southern woman that weighs 600 pounds that's buying her Bucky's nuggets, and I go in there, and I'm like, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm over 6 foot, and I get back to the corner, and I see this guy. The only reason why I'm saying this is because it's funny. I see this guy who he's probably 2 or 3 inches taller than I am, but I'm gonna say, having watched a handful of episodes of My 500-Pound Life, this guy's probably 600 or 700 pounds.
He's
one of his legs, not kidding. Walking is a stretch, right?
Lumbering.
He was mobile.
but he's wearing a full, what must have been like a 10X like zip up coverall with the top like slightly down and a bunch of just hamburger meat hanging out the top, right? He's double fisting the extra large, whatever the largest size.
Yeah, extra large. Those are like 50 ounces. They're massive.
Double fisting. 2 soft drinks, and then he's got in his arm one of the Bucky's like the plastic or nylon grocery bags, full overflowing with snacks, and he's just
Jesus Christ,
heavy breathing his way to the fucking counter. And I went, okay, number 1, I feel a lot better about myself. I know I've gained about 70 or 80 pounds since I left the Corps. Number 2, they need to. That's a walking lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, if this guy goes to Bucky's more than once a week and gets the same order, like the family has to like know that this is where his weight gain is coming from. Not just, but like my guess is that this was like his evening snack.
Yeah,
for working like a 12-hour, 15-hour shift.
Yeah,
he got into.
He can't work.
He got into like a new Chevy truck, and I watched the driver's side
and it went
visibly sink.
Oh my god!
And he took up the entire driver's side, and it's a bench seat, the entire driver's side, and half of the rest of the seat that was there. This was a big boy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
a big boy. When you see the man has a fat roll on his forehead, that's when you know you're in Bucky's country. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Amen, brother.
I'm sure he's a sweetheart of a guy, and
we don't know.
I'm sure he is, right? Maybe he's not. I don't know. But I don't want to discriminate against fat people because I am a fat person. But at the same time,
look,
that's not fat.
As a fellow big boy,
like
I can personally say, fat people can be assholes too. You know, it's fat erasure to say otherwise. So.
Fair enough.
No, there is the rule that like at a certain weight you start having to either be nicer or you're a fat piece of shit that no one wants to be around. That's like that is a solid society rule that everybody abides by, and everybody like gets it as well.
Can't be fat and mean.
You can't be fat and a dick.
Yeah.
No, you can. You 100% can.
If you're funny,
you 100% can be 700 pounds and a fucking asshole. You totally can. Like you can force like someone around you to force feed you, all the time, and then use their disability check to buy a brand new fucking Chevy truck. Like we don't know the guy's story, all right?
Well,
he might be a dick.
I do wonder what some of those people that are that big, because for me, like in Australia, we don't really have that, but I have seen those individuals, and I'm just like, what do you do to continue to exist?
Or taking like, I get, like, fucking Walmart.
Like, what is that? Yeah, what do you do for a living at that point? Like,
like, what you can't, like, your day-to-day just eating? Like, is there some sort of dopamine release when you have like another hamburger? Like, I'll have a burger and get a dopamine hit. Doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking mainline it like it's heroin.
Pull something off the smoker and I get a dopamine.
Oh,
hit.
Dude, yeah. I actually do have a chicken that I'm about to stuff full of like it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna chuck it on the smoker. It's gonna be awesome.
No, hold up. What are you making?
Hold up.
Come on.
So I got a chicken. It's like defrosting at the moment, and then like when I made fucking lamb the other day or whatever, like I got all the gravy, and I didn't end up using the gravy. I just forgot about it. So then I reduced all like the gravy to like just like fat jellies or whatever. So it's not actually like fat; it's the jelly stuff. So I've got rice, some vegetables and shit. I'm gonna like cut them up, put all of that stuff into the rice, and then open it up and stuff the rice, the fat jelly, and the vegetables into the chicken, and then smoke it.
Ooh.
That's the plan. Yeah, and then season, of course, with some lovely farmers market that I got some farmers market season.
We just send him some like slap your mama or something, Morgan.
I have a fresh can.
When he comes down here, I fully intend on loading him up with like I'm gonna get him
just taking MSG home.
I'm gonna give him. If I was home, I would show you. I have an entire like the big restaurant size containers. I have an entire container of just pure MSG.
Hold on, I got it.
No, did you get one from the store when you went there when you came? I didn't remember if you didn't bring yours home or if Declan didn't bring his home.
What is the? I know I missed my. I lost my seasoning.
Oh, it was you. It was you and salt. Okay.
Yeah. It was slap your mama seasoning. I wasn't able to get.
But I can get you. Well, do you want me to go to the Tabasco? Cajun Traditions MSG. Do you want me to go to the Tabasco plant and get you out of season and off? Like, you can't get Tabasco.
Yeah, you have me at Tabasco.
Okay, all right.
See, you have me at the factory.
I'll make a run before the next hog hunt, and I'll bring a bunch. Of Tabasco. The cool thing is they give you military discounts. So like cool. I just show them my retired card, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, well here's like 25% off everything in the store. And I'm like, cha-ching, because it's already cheaper than it is in the grocery store.
Yeah.
I started getting I have a relationship with my butcher now, and like I do the social club at the unit, and I used to always
give him back shots for short ribs or something.
You know.
So like I rocked up like one time after like being on like an exercise for a while, and they were actively concerned. They were like, "Oh my god, like how have you been? Like we hadn't seen you." And I'm like,
he let him slap his cocking handle one time. Anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, just once.
I had to bring the circle back to firearm related things. So.
True. Yeah.
Oh yeah, gun episode, guys.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, the HK slap is the funniest thing to ever be invented, and it's like the theory. It's like, well, you could slap it because your motor functions are going to be all fucked up. It's like, I don't know if they're going to be that fucked up. Like, somebody said it's like, so you have to remove the magazine. That's a fine motor skill. To then put another one in, and then eventually you're like, like, well. Good thing my fine motor skills weren't shot to shit. It's like, whatever. I mean, once again, like, you have to slap it. That is the rule.
Just wait till you have an out of battery detonation, and one of those magazines just blows the whole bottom out, and you're left with this like husk and rounds all down by your feet, and a spring that just kind of bounces off the walls wherever you happen to be at. It's great. It's wonderful.
That's like personal experience.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Just start like shooting. Just shoot the surefly like light at them to like strobe them. Just
Yeah, exactly. Have a seizure.
yeah.
Oh, I bought this cool gimmick the other day. I don't know if it's gimmick, but it's a fan for your gun.
Oh, the barrel cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. We sell those.
Magneto Speed.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only reason I bought it is because I shot like 40 rounds to that thing quick as fuck.
That sounds like a perfect opportunity to have a banana split happen to your barrel. Does it go into the barrel?
Just goes in the front or in the. No, you should really put it in the rear.
Look.
Yeah, you should put it in the bolt face.
Magazine.
Right. You're good. All right. As he inserts a round by hand.
Mm. You put it in there and it just blows air in there.
Oh, it goes into the chamber. Okay, I was thinking it goes into like the end. I've seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 or 10 times I've seen guys blow their barrels up because they forget to take out the laser for their side into the rifle.
Yeah. Fuck a bore sighter, but yes.
No, it's impressive. Like watching that thing go, and you're like, oh, that's not supposed to happen.
Cartoons had that right. That's crazy.
No, this goes in your chamber, and it's just a fan with it. It actually has a filter on it, which is badass.
Okay.
We were at a proving ground, and I was just there to help out. And we were testing fucking like 7.62 like AP and comparing them. We had all like the setup and everything. It was pretty funny. We're like, all right, cool, let's switch these rounds out, blah blah blah. And then like we're looking at the screen that has like all the data, so it's just like, yep. And then there's one point where the data just is like, yep, boop. And we're like, what the fuck? And we look over and the barrel had blown up because they fucking left the bore side in. And we were all sort of like looked at each other, and it's all these like old like dudes who have just like done the dodgiest shit. They're just like, all right, we'll call it there. It's like, we're not gonna write this up for an incident. Like, nah.
No one got hurt.
Pull up a barrel and just shoot at the ball side. Nah, it's fine. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know how many fucking barrels we have? It's like, I don't know how many. He's like, I don't know. Anyway, pack your shit up. Let's go to the. And then we went and they opened up the bar at the time, which was dodgy as shit. It only accepted cash, and the beers were like $2, and like the spirits were like $3. Right. I was like, I'm getting lit. I actually like took my like fucking like piggy jar or whatever. It was I still have it. It's a Darth Vader one, and I fucking opened it up, and I was just paying coins to fucking get these beers because once again, no one had cash even back then. Awesome
that
place.
Is pretty funny.
Go again in the heartbeat.
Pulling up with your Darth Vader piggy bank, be like, "Can I get a shot, please?"
Just like shaking it out of the ass of this thing. You're just
yeah.
Here, Luke, so that's like $3. Here you go.
Yeah. No, pour it out on the table, and then you got to pour it out on the table, and then like single finger, like push him toward him, like counting. You know, just like that's $3. There you go. Shout out. Shout out to Darth. The Magneto Speed barrel cooler is pretty good for like competition guys that need to have don't want to have like a super hot barrel before they go to the next stage.
Right, especially if you're moving between stages, you want to give it the opportunity to cool down.
Or you don't want to put a fucking searing hot suppressor in a bag. You can cool it down first, but.
Yeah. I feel like there's an old sergeant major out there who's just like, just burn yourself, son. Doesn't matter.
I've only had a detonation due to heat a handful of times. Like that's not an experience that typically happens because you got to remember, for most machine guns, they're open bolt concepts, so it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I had it happen on a AR-15 that we did a burn down test on. We wanted to see. Do you remember Black Ace's Tactical?
Oh yeah, dog shit.
We got a 8.5-inch barrel in, and I wanted to see how many rounds of full auto fire through it would take before you burn up the rifling in the barrel. For the record, it's about 2,700. And
That's
then
like,
it was
well,
like
full auto.
smooth bore clean. The only reason why I knew that it was, and we're putting C mags into it, right? And 50 round beta mags, right? We're just loading them in there, fucking pumping them out.
You couldn't find any alpha mags? No alpha was around you?
Are you the alpha? Is that what you're saying? No. That's we homemade made a mag loader for those two. One of the racking ones. You could put 50 rounds in at a time and rack it, which was pretty impressive.
What the fuck?
Handy.
Yeah, it's made out of like 2x4s, and like you
put it on
take
a table,
and it's great. It's the fastest way to load mags if you're going to try and do a burn down test like that. But we got about 2,700 rounds into it, and the only reason why I knew that I'd burned the barrel up because it was shooting fine, and then it started keyholing, and not just like a little bit, like perfect sideways, like slice cuts into the paper every round. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and take this magazine out before. So I pulled the mag out. It fired around without. Everything's off, right? Mag's out. I hadn't had the chance to eject the round, and it lit a round off. And I was like, we've approached that point of heat entrapment in there.
This is criticality, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got a runaway here.
I had it happen on a closed bolt semi-auto 1919 as well, which it ended up running away, which was pretty impressive to watch. The guy actually managed to hold it together pretty well. He was basically just butterfly triggering a semi-auto 1919. Racked around, went forward, was firing. It's belt fed, right? So you just keep shoving ammunition in there as long as you want. And he was trying to cut a tree in half that we'd all kind of started on with our automatic stuff, and we threw some Barrett rounds at it. It was, it's like a 30-inch diameter pine, and it took him probably 200 round belts. I would say between 10 and 15 belts before it finally lit off on him.
That's a lot of fucking money.
And he had about 75 rounds left. And this isn't 308. This is 30-06. He had about 75 rounds left, and the thing just kicked off. And it was impressive because it was like tack, 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 tack. The cyclic rate increased pretty quickly. Had another one with this was just a weird detonation thing. I had a this is completely accidental, a MPX that you'd fire it and the trigger pins would walk, and if one of the trigger pins walked out, I'm not going to say how far because then I'll be stalked by the ATF for the rest of my life. But if it would walk out enough, it would actually cock the trigger mechanism slightly, and it would run away on you. And that was pretty eye opening. I was at an indoor range. It was my PCC gun that I was testing out.
Yeah,
and just testing the weapon out, and I'd probably fired like 5 or 10 mags out of the thing, just hitting different targets on an indoor like 25-yard range, and then this thing just does a runaway on me, and I'm left holding this fucking gun trying to figure out. Okay, number one, I didn't mean for that to happen. Number two, what? And then you just put KNSA anti-lock pins in there, and then it doesn't do it anymore. But it was interesting that was like a thing you had to do, and now we're in the age where another one of SIG's guns will just allegedly, potentially, possibly go off for the chat, right?
Well, they did reword their manual and suggest you don't keep wanting to buy.
They put it in bold.
The interesting thing is people don't learn in the firearms market, right? Like if you have an accident that happens like that, you need to come out in front of it and be like, okay, we're going to solve this problem and figure out how this happened to make sure that it never happens again. Those firearms manufacturers are successful. The ones that aren't are like, do you remember the Serpa holsters that guys would shoot themselves in the leg when they'd reholster their gun?
Oh, because
the tab would fold over into the trigger well, and Serpa's like, no, this isn't a manufacturer defect. This is nothing wrong with us. This is user error. It's like it's an integral part of your system, like.
Because then it was teaching people to put pressure on the side of the gun when you draw as well. Because the release latch was literally right where the trigger guard is, right? So you would draw,
Nothing could go
And
you
wrong.
would put the pressure on there, and then you were putting pressure on it as you were
Yeah.
drawing, so it would go off in your hand too if you were stupid. So it was both. It's just a bad design all around.
But I mean, at the end of the day,
Russians have that crazy one where
That
you
loads
pull
when you
it out
cock
and it
down.
cocks
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they also made that
Dangerous.
revolver that you can actually suppress, which is pretty impressive. But
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're all dead anyway. So
yeah. It's a 1915
Easy,
revolver,
lad.
I think. Yeah.
Easy,
1897. 1897 revolver that allows you to be suppressed. How crazy is that?
Well, it's like going back to the adage of like what's old is new, right? Like people are now finding out that lever actions are the cat's meow if you want to go shoot hogs. It's like, well, we've known that forever. They're a fantastic, they're a straight wall cartridge in a gun designed to fire straight wall cartridges. It has a magazine capacity greater than 3, greater than 5 in most cases. It fires heavier rounds than you can put in most semi-automatics. They're accurate as hell, and when you lock everything closed, you can suppress 90% of them out there at a rate that's better than any semi-automatic you're going to find in the market.
Yeah.
It's like,
I got two buddies with suppressed 4570 lever guns, and they're so much fun. They're rocking 400 grain, I think, sub-X Hornadies. Like, guys, that's fucking insane.
You're slapping somebody with an eighth of an ounce of lead. Somebody, an animal with an eighth ounce of lead.
Yeah. Those don't fuck around. And then they had one of them has like a Vortex Defender on the top. Like, that's all you need. It's perfect.
Yep. It's great brush guns. They got plenty of weight to punch through limbs, all sorts of shit. They don't deviate because you get a whisper of wind. They're slow, and they're just a slug flying through the air.
We have 2 Sharps 1874 rolling blocks right now, and 45 120.
I'm going to need you to send me a link, because that is a gun that I've been looking for ever. All right.
Okay.
In 45 120 especially.
Yeah.
I'll take it too, I guess. Fuck
I'll
it.
hook you up.
Not that I'm gonna buy it, but
one of them comes with reloading dies.
What's going to happen is you're going to buy it and get your employee discount, and then I'm going to buy it from you. That's what's going to happen. I want you to know that.
Word up.
So if your employer is watching, that's not what's happening. But I'm just saying that's what's happening.
I would never.
Why are you buying both of these? I just really like it.
My friend. He's cool.
Oh god, that's
I
too.
feel like it'd be lonely.
It's a nice gun. This isn't a Pedersoli. This is a Sharps.
I could shoot this though. It's definitely shooter's grade. It's not like a collector's grade.
No, I mean like you said, it's got the attachable sights
and everything. Got them
It's
hard
got
already.
loading dies, and I think it has brass if I remember correct. I think this one had brass with it. I'll have to double check.
Would it be sacrilegious if I threaded the barrel?
I wouldn't call the police, but someone might.
I would be willing to look the other way.
I'd
just this one time.
I'd be disappointed, but I would understand. I would get it.
Yeah.
That's the classic looking
Well, the only way to notice
it's a cowboy gun.
Yeah, this is a buffalo gun. This is We have 2 of them. One of them has a scope on it as well. Has like one of the old like Hansel? No, not Hansel. What's the one where it's got like the screws holding it on there? You like the screws on the side and the top that are holding it on there.
The Redfield, the old Redfield optics.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got like a.
We're talking like Vietnam era. Or are we talking older?
No. We're talking old. Like we're talking.
I don't know.
Like Arthur Morgan old, or like.
Hey, Carl,
what's time to go over the trench.
What's the stock made out of?
What's up?
What's the stock made out
of? That's gonna be oak. It'll be oak. Yeah, oak or maple. I can't tell from this picture. It's too far away to actually look very.
I do like the idea of gun connoisseurs.
Back
in the
oak.
day, like comparing weapons, and they're just like, "Oh, is that oak? Huh, righto." It's like, "What do you have?" Fine, peasant. That's all they have.
You're saying the scope's side mounted, like kind of like.
Sort of, yeah. It's like off center a little bit. And it's got like
Oh,
screws
I
holding it
Send it.
I
center.
know what you're
happened?
talking
I'm
about.
trying
Like,
to find it, sweetheart. All right, give me a
Oh my
minute.
god! You said you were
Jamie's
selling
not
the
doing
thing.
anything.
You said you were selling the thing.
We don't have
It-
photos of it online. I'm sorry.
Well,
does it
somebody's got
have
the
like the
store.
32-inch fucking scope on it,
Yeah. No, it does. It's not that
or
long.
is it like the newer like shorty?
Yeah, it's like a shorty. It's like this. Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, where the fuck is Jamie? I've been pulling shit up.
Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking about. You're like,
Okay,
no,
well,
that's not it.
it's not like the long one. It's not like
in the
it's
chat.
not like the one that's like 32 inches. But yeah, it is long. I'll put it in the
We need
podcast chat.
Oh, it's a Malcolm. It's a Malcolm optic. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, here.
Malcolm in the middle.
Malcolm is the original manufacturer. Yeah, here you go. That's the right one, right?
Up, Shuddy. Let me see.
I just put it in the chat channel. There's a buttons flag that you probably don't want in there, but other than that, it's fine.
There is the Bucky's
I'll delete that
there.
one, and then you could be good to go.
That's pretty much dead on, yeah, for that.
Yeah, so Malcolm made those optics back in the day. He made them for the Springfield trapdoor rifle, but they go on just about any trapdoor or rolling block rifle with the correct like attachment thing. But they sold them in a 3x, a 6x, and then like some oddball like 7 3/8 or something like that. It was a weird optic. But anyway,
that's pretty close. Yeah. So, see, I'll see if I can I'll get you set up. Yo, smoking a pig with a 45 120 at like 200 yards. Be pretty fun.
I don't know, 45 120. I think we're punching through 3 pigs with that thing. Let's be real. 120.
You need the
120 grains of black powder. Like,
what's the hydrostatic?
I thought we've been through this. You need a pig to kill a pig.
What's the hydrostatic?
So 400 grain bullets. Effective range. So the Sharp's rifle's effective range was 1,100 yards with a maximum range of 3,000. 45 120. 450 Black Powder Express is what they're calling for, which I'll have to order some.
Here it is.
So it's 2,150 feet per second, producing 4,930 foot-pounds of energy.
Yeah,
that's a spicy meatball. That is
that's a bad day.
What were those bullets that I showed you before? They were like hydro, like stable in like water, and they would like hit. They were like
the
used for
hydrodynamic ones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, something like that. I forgot.
I
that loaded with like a 500 grain.
Yeah, so I have a 4.58 Win Mag that I bought some of those rounds for, and I made a couple. They were 600 grain, 600 grain, basically hard cast lead. When I hit a steel plate with that, like a 12-inch, half-inch thick, so 12-inch diameter, half-inch thick steel plate that probably weighs 12 pounds. It didn't just like knock it off the hanger. The spall from the lead actually cut the 3/8 inch chain that was holding it up, and kicked it back a few feet. It was pretty impressive. Impressive. But that's like an elephant gun, right? That's what it's. That's what it's designed for.
This is Steinel 730 grain.
Oof.
lead cast.
Oof. God, 730 grain subs. Oh God. Are you shooting a tube of lipstick at whatever you're trying to hit? Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
dollar
Those-
cost per round
those-
on that.
Oh, they're pretty
Yeah,
expensive.
this is per dollar. No, this is per one round, I think.
Like $4 a round.
So it's 90. It's $84. $84.
20 rounds, yeah.
I see there.
Yeah, it's
64. Okay, so it's like $1.50 a round. That's actually not that bad.
it
That's
is
not terrible.
$3.25 a round.
Okay.
Eh.
What are you
I'm out.
shooting with that thing?
Anything you
Whatever it
wanna
is, it's not
compare?
going. It's not living much longer after.
Those were the rounds that they. Those were the engine block of a Chevy truck. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, the sky's
That's
the
just like
limit.
if you had something like
you
that, you
know-
wouldn't have anything left to eat.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know,
The interesting thing with those is that they don't expand that well
A duck.
because they're hard cast lead, so they're
Mhm.
just designed for penetration. Like it's going to penetrate 48 inches of meat, but it's not going to open up that well. It's just going to
Yeah.
stay, like fit. It might open up to a half inch, but it's a 45 caliber projectile. If you really want something that opens up, you go buy like a Horn of the Expansion round that it's only going to travel like 12 inches into the target, but by the time it's done, it's 3/4 of an inch wide, and the exit wound's going to look like a dinner plate. Like that's
Is that why these ones are hydrostatic?
no. So these ones are
no, these were the
hydrostatically stabilized, so they're designed to maintain their shape. Think of it like sintered steel versus like cast steel, right? So for like sintered steel, it's a bunch of powder that's pressed.
It's not for shooting swimming hogs.
Oh, Woodley. Yeah, here it is. Hydrostatically stabilized bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why this particular
All bullets can be used.
conversation itches my tism, but it does every time we have a
Yeah.
conversation.
Big bullets.
Um,
Big boom.
Shit, you know.
so I bought
like
that.
the
I
pump
bought-
gun.
Yeah, there's that. I bought that 338 Edge. And I wanted to make some pretty spicy rounds for it, but I don't have the dice for it yet. I gotta order them and have them made. I've always thought it would be fun to try and build like a .950 JDM, just so you could shoot a golf ball at somebody.
Yeah, it's certainly around. I mean, there's so many like weird like boutique rounds of people that are just like, yeah, let's see how big we can go, you know.
Well, I mean that
Too busy asking
.95
if we can do it, not should
that
we?
that 950 JDM. I want to say it was like 25,000 foot-pounds of energy delivered on target.
Yeah.
The other one,
But like
the other one
everything
that-
about that gun had to be custom machined though. Like that's
yeah. The one that's closest to it, which unfortunately Anzio Ironworks is like, they were 3 years ago, they were like super backlogged, and I think some unfortunate things happened over there. But like, if you wanted to have a gun that was capable of killing anything, I would say anything on the planet,
and maybe
they made
anything in the universe.
they made an Anzio Ironworks 50-20 millimeter. So they took a 20 millimeter Lottie, they changed the barrel lead on it. They did some work on the reciprocating system, and they got rid of the sled and just put a big bipod on it. And it was a 50 caliber round fired out of a 20 millimeter casing.
Yep, neck down, 20 mil.
It was like 3,800 or 4,000 feet per second out of a 50 cal round. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like 750 grain, like 50 cal bullet traveling at 4,000 feet per second out of an anti-tank gun. You're like, we could probably take down some aliens.
Imagine some Ralphus rounds in that thing and just having it hit it, at
Jabba the Hutt,
3,800 feet per second. Like,
Jabba the Hutt getting smoked. All right, I'm just calling it now. I don't care what's outside of the universe you are.
Yeah, somebody needs to get fucking H.P. Lovecraft, bring him back into this time, and just live like, dude, like no one cares. Like it's a horror beyond my comprehension. It's like, does he comprehend this?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
We already built
just
the biggest
call
round there was.
I want my nightmares now.
Call of Cthulhu, but he's dropped in the Appalachian woodlands. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, no,
RIP, dude.
these, it's like, oh my god, these hillbillies are plagued by demons. It's like, no, they're fucked up on moonshine.
They call it
There's a Wendigo out there, bro. They'll skin that thing and mount it, and then get plastered. One of the dudes has a smoker.
They called it their 50 BMG railgun conversion kit.
Holy
50 BMG railgun.
Might as well be.
Anybody calling it a railgun, it's just like, yeah.
Let me see.
Blast.
Are they still in business?
They're still in business, I guess. It's like 10 grand for a single shot, 20 millimeter.
It's just closed.
Their takedown. I'm looking at their website, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Their website's still up.
Wow, this website, holy shit.
Yeah, it's older than sin. Yeah, so for the 20 millimeter takedown rifle, it was
the copyright for the website is 2000 to 2011.
Okay, so it was a 1600 grain bullet traveling at 3,300 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's a spicy meatball. Let me see if I can find their 50 BMG railgun ballistics.
There's a 20 mil takedown rifle. How about that? It's a nice hunting, or what do you call it?
Okay, so they were 1,000 grain custom solid rounds.
Are you just casting those in your basement, like?
No, so it's spun. So they take a rod and they spin it down.
Oh, okay.
It was lathed. They lathe their ammo. That's fucking tight, dude.
Let me post an image of this. Let me see if I can find a way to post this. It's a Reddit image, but that's a 50 caliber round. So that's a 308 round next to a 50 BMG round, loaded with 750 grain AMAXs, which is a pretty spicy round in and of itself. And then the 2050.
Holy shit.
Jamie?
For the 1,000 grain projectile out of a 50-inch barrel from Anzio Ironworks' website is 3,600 to 4,200 feet per second. So let's do the ballistics. Let's do the ballistics info on this.
Mm-hmm. Someone pull up shooter calc.
I've got it on my computer right now.
All right.
Let's see. So we're looking at 1,000 grain solid projectile. We'll do at the barrel. We'll do 3,600. So on the short side, we'll do 3,600.
You doing kinetic energy calculating?
Kinetic energy calculator. Yeah. So we're looking at 29,514 foot-pounds of muzzle energy.
Damn.
For reference, the vaunted, 45 ACP is like
vaunted 432.
400. I was going to say 400 foot-pounds of energy.
430. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 338 Lapua is about 5,000.
So it's what? 6 times more than a 338 Lapua round?
Yeah.
Well, granted, the gun does weigh 39 pounds.
Yeah, you're not hiking that bitch in.
Well, that was the cool thing with the Lottie, is that they had it set up so that you could tow it behind a vehicle, or you could push it on sleds through the snow.
Yeah.
There was who's the I could see their faces. The Unsub podcast. They had a guy that sent in a story. It was backed up by like a police report and stuff about this guy had his house broken in, and his dad shot at the intruders with a shotgun, and he had been like testing this 20 millimeter Lottie that they'd picked up. And he heard, his dad called him to tell him somebody's breaking in. He set up on the road, and he shot the engine block of this car as it was coming at him, and just there wasn't an engine block anymore. He was like, the noise that he heard was an engine block tearing itself apart. It's like, holy shit. That was a pretty impressive story.
Did then again, the World War II one from Unsub?
where the old men kept having to take naps.
Yeah, just little micro naps.
Yeah, that was so cool. One of the guys was like, "Okay, I'm fading fast, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off for like 15 or 20 minutes, catch a nap." He just dips off to the side. He's just snoring away over there. Had a beer with him. Like, you know what, man? You deserve
Hell
it.
yeah.
You deserve it.
That's where I want to be in the future.
You think that one
But I'll
causes
steal
little
other
micro
people's stories.
concussions like a Carl Gustav? If you fire it enough.
I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, if you fire a Barrett M107 for any length of time, your nasal passages are going to be pretty messed up for a day or two. Like, there is a concussive force that comes off that muzzle brake if you're firing it in like an enclosed space. It's not. It's not a lot.
Sort of powder that would clear my nose.
Yeah.
You
gotta be in South America for that one, buddy.
Came in the metric system.
Sniffing on that brown.
Wait.
Jesus Christ. Was that Lord of War where he like mixes up the illegal drug with the can't say the drug. Can't say the drug.
Yeah. I think it's Beast of No Nation. I think that was the Idris Elba and the Child Soldiers in Africa one.
No, I was thinking the one where I think it's Lord of War where the
there
guy
is Lord of War where
the gunpowder
he does
with the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was the Nicolas Cage one? That was in there?
Like they called him. Yeah. He's in Africa or whatever.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
It's like towards the end of the movie.
You mean Blood Diamond?
And then like
I need to rewatch Blood Diamond. I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years.
It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I watched it the other day. I watched a bunch of old movies the other day, but my thing was all fucked up. I did the first Shrek, then I watched Blood Diamond, and then I watched Princess Bride. And I was like, wow, I'm fucking all
What
over
a
the place.
combo! What a fucking combo, dude.
Yeah.
What's
well, I was away, and I just didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, name like 3 movies that couldn't have any more to do with each other. You know. Yeah, I watched Black Hawk Down, Marley and Me,
Baby.
and
yeah.
Boss Baby.
I already said it.
Boss Baby.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Just I was all over the place, and I was just like, sweet. And I had like a case of beers, and I was just.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I actually forgot how funny Shrek was. Like how like.
Oh, original Shrek is a 10 out of 10 movie for real. That's a great movie.
And then I was gonna watch Milan, but I never downloaded it. I was like, damn it. I don't know. Nothing beats make a man out of you, and then he gets disappointed when he finds out you're a girl. Like, that's so funny. Still the greatest.
You're not gay. You're just a tomboy.
I think Eddie Murphy was in that one as well, wasn't he? He was the dragon, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I think he was.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of.
Murphy, I was like, hell yeah.
He was in a lot of like animated films for a while. Like he was in everything. He's like in Madagascar.
It was after he did Dr. Dolittle, he started doing a bunch of like kid films.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He tried to change his persona from like the comedian to the
leather jacket.
Yeah.
Well,
dishonor on you, dishonor on your cattle. 100% great line.
Yeah. Well, he's like in the Beverly Hills Cop. He's not really a comedian in that. Like he's a funny dude, sure, but he's still playing like an actual cop. Whereas Rush Hour with old mate is
he's a good.
That's not
Eddie Murphy. That's
not Eddie Murphy. That's
somebody else. But I'm saying like that's him playing
Chris.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
One who got slapped.
Colvin Dallas. Oh no, it's Ruby Red.
Listen, you're gonna say you're telling me, Sandy or Bear, that Eddie Murphy didn't get a big break.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the problem is that most people don't remember the movies that he was famous for. Like Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
That was a huge break. You're gonna tell me that wasn't a break for him? Like I'll point at Dr. Dolittle. That was another huge break. The Nutty Professor. That was another one. What's the other cop movie that he did? No.
Trading Places.
That was Robin Williams.
Metro. He did 48 Hours.
Trading Places.
Was Was he in Norbit?
He was in Norbit, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Coming
what
to
you're thinking
America.
of.
Yeah, Coming to
Coming to
America.
America.
Trading
Coming to
Places.
America, right? Harlem Nights, another classic. The Golden Child. Oh fuck, I can't. The one where he's a stockbroker. Trading Places.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He had
damn.
a great acting career, and then he decided to go away from that and dip into the kids thing, right? And he
Which he-
had
like,
a
he
ton
nailed
of
it.
movies there, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Shrek, you're gonna tell me that he was not a like vaunted actor for playing Donkey in Shrek? Like that was
No,
a thing.
that's-
That was a thing.
Could have been Larry the Cable Guy.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
Larry the Cable Guy
Tell me
as
I'm
Donkey would have been a different movie. I think. I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have been the same.
Apparently,
I think
they
there's,
came
like,
out with
certain-
a new Beverly Hills Cop movie.
Yeah.
What?
that's just
Oh,
saying
Oh,
that.
Axel.
It was on
Yeah,
Net- it
Beverly
was
Hills.
on Netflix. I just
It was
pulled
okay.
Axel, I think.
listed
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Axel. It was all right.
I don't know. I thought Coming
was
to
in,
America 2 was fucking hilarious. That was really funny.
I think the
Wasn't
last
funny
thing
the
that I
first one
watched.
'cause it never is, but it was good.
Yeah.
I think the first one, or the last one of Eddie Murphy that I watched that I really enjoyed was Dynamite is my name or whatever. It's I mean, I'm
You like
looking at it now,
Dynamite?
but that was so funny. Yeah, I loved it. It was awesome, and it was like a, was it, yeah,
Oh, I didn't
biography or whatever.
Sandy
Yeah, it's a great
Bear was
movie.
saying that apparently Chris Farley was supposed to be the voice of Shrek. He recorded approximately
Yeah.
85% of the dialogue for the character before he passed in December of '97. Interesting.
Yeah, he died from Dragos. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have
All the good
been
ones do.
a different timeline, I think, if Chris Farley was Shrek.
Totally
Yeah,
different.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
think
as
it would have
well-
been. I don't think it would have been as good.
No,
Frankly, I
I
mean,
don't
like Chris
think-
Farley was a great like physical actor. I don't know if he had the
The voice
vocal
acting.
chops. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
after Mike Myers did whatever that Kama Sutra one where he essentially got cancelled from that, everyone sort of was like, "Yeah, we can't like have him." He's
Love
like, "Can I keep
Guru.
doing Shrek?" They're like, "Yep, that's
Oh,
it."
Love
yeah.
Guru. That was actually hilarious.
What was the
Oh
one
yeah,
that
it was
like?
funny.
What was the one they like forced him to be a part of? There was like one movie where they were like, "You have to do this. You're contractually obligated to do this movie." He's like, "I don't want to fucking do it."
Please,
Just one he
please,
just,
I
like,
don't want
really
to
didn't
do
wanna
it.
do. Oh, you know,
Nah.
I don't know if we talked about this before. You know the scene in was the Master of
Hat.
Disguise?
The Cat in the Hat.
Cat
he
in
was
the Hat.
legally
Yeah,
obligated.
he
to
was
play
legally
Cat in the Hat.
obligated to play Cat in the Hat. He did
Yeah.
not want to, and he
He
fucking
canceled. He
Yeah.
Yeah,
canceled.
he nailed it.
well, that entire like last half of the movie is just fucking weird. Like it makes no.
Yeah, he had canceled on a prior project for the director Bo Welch, and he ended up directing Cat in the Hat. And the settlement was that he would take lead for another film.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so-
this line makes so much sense. I've suffered for my art, and now it's your turn.
Oh god damn.
Oh my
he's
god!
like he's like you owe me one and I'm gonna make sure you feel it. you're gonna know.
100%.
You're
He's
gonna
like, you know
know,
what?
dude.
If I gotta do this, I'm gonna make sure that everyone
Oh my
pays.
god.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Fucking hell.
funny.
That is
That's so
beautiful.
funny.
That's
Yeah,
we should have
just
some
because-
watch alongs.
that would be good. Yeah. Oh, dude, I watched a movie the other day with Tom Hardy on Netflix.
Mm.
It was incredible. It was absolutely awful. I was slamming beers.
Was it the
No,
boxing
it was
one?
Havoc. It's Havoc with fucking
I don't know that one.
Forrest Whitaker, I think it is. Tom Hardy, Timothy
Oh, that's a
Oliphant.
new one. That's a new one.
It's
2025.
new and it's fucking it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's like sort of John Wick, also a crime movie.
Forrest Whitaker and Tom Hardy in it. Like, how is that going to be a bad movie? But you're telling me it's a bad movie?
I'm telling you, it's a terrible movie that I had so much fun watching.
Okay,
By the end of it,
are we talking
I was like,
are we talking like
fuck?
terrible movie like Big Trouble in Little China, where they tried to make it a serious movie, but it was not a serious movie. It was intentionally should have been done as a comedy. Is that what we're saying?
No, it's a terrible movie that is trying to be serious, but has like just too much going on. They're like they have like 9 plots going on at one point, and it's like I can't track.
Well, it's
And
it was
incredibly
I
violent.
got nothing else going
I
on.
saw
It's
the other
so
day
funny.
that was sort of like that. It was like Terminal or Departure. Or
Oh yeah, with the dude's the fucking like
he's
the
like security. He's like a TSA agent,
yeah.
and he's like told to like let a package through or something like that. And it is it tries so hard to be like super tense.
The Phantom
like,
Menace syndrome.
It tries so hard to be like super like tense and stuff, but like it is so fucking stupid. It is insane. Yeah, somebody has to watch that with me at some point because that broke my brain, dude.
I watched the Amateur the other week when I was on duty. I had nothing else to do and I got stuck and I was like, I'll just go to the on-base cinema, and that was actually a great movie. It was like
You're on base, you're on duty, you can go watch a movie.
Well, I mean,
What's that one?
the
Allegedly.
rules are very grey with what we're allowed to do. I can't drink. That's pretty much the gold one. Have the phone on me. Anyway, the point is, it's not a bad movie, but it's essentially this dude, like his wife gets killed in a terrorist attack, and then he's like, I'm gonna go be Jason Bourne now, and he like goes to this dude. He's like, all right, train me, and they're like, I can't train you. But the way he does it is funny. He's like, I want to get revenge. It's like, all right, we'll get you in the back end. Don't worry about it. He's like, I want it now. They're like, no. And so he finds dirt on the people that like he's working for, and they're like, what are you blackmailing us with? What are you gonna do? It's like, I just want to go like kill this dude. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they still try to kill him. It's like, dude, just let the man. Yeah, so he blackmails to get revenge, which is like probably the thing that I can relate the most with. Not out of good consciousness. He's like, I just want to kill these people. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know why anybody would stop him.
You're like, all right, this guy wants to just try and kill this terrorist network.
Yeah.
But we're going to kill him for trying to kill the terrorist network.
Later on, they find out like one of the dudes was. You can pick the story already before it happens, but it's still like, okay, like whatever. But they set it up for a sequel.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
and
it's got the dude from. I can't remember his name. It's a really like lanky guy from Mr. Robot and the Pacific. He's in other stuff.
Fucking not Franco. I don't know what you're talking about.
The dude who can like play an autistic man incredibly well. Like
Freddie Mercury, is that the guy you're talking about?
No.
Oh
no! Wait, yes. Yeah.
The guy. So they gave him like Big
Rami,
Feet, and then
Rami Malek.
Malik.
Yeah, that's
Malik,
the one. Yeah. I love the actor. He's fantastic, but like he is getting typecast for like autism every time. Oh, and Freddie Mercury one time.
I mean,
yeah, he needs to do.
I'm sure that man was autistic. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like him in the Pacific is so funny. Like when he's like making the dudes clean the barrels, it's like, why don't you fucking help us? He's like, I just had to like bring you over here. I was supposed to be back there like 30 minutes ago.
I'm just watching for fun. Snafu. Shout out to Snafu. That guy.
Oh, that's right. He was the guy that was like trying to be super chill. Yeah. I remember now.
He was like taking the gold teeth, but like stopped Sled from doing it.
I could like see his face from the Pacific in my head, but I was like, I can't pinpoint the exact character.
Yeah,
I don't know why they haven't. Well, they HBO like nailed, like they had pretty much like 3 back-to-back. They had the Pacific, Band of Brothers, and then Generation Kill, and then they were like, all right, cool, we're not really gonna do any of this ever again. It's like, what, bro? You guys are nailing it.
You killed it. You fucking killed it. Well, then somebody else went to him for Masters of the Air, but I don't think it did as well. I think it's because it's only on like Apple TV, which kills everything.
But it's great. I watched it.
Apple TV.
I watched it the other day. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Masters of the Air.
Never mind. Ozzy does.
The interesting thing is like you read the books and then you read the books and then you go watch the Pacific, or you read the books and you go watch Band of Brothers, and it's really close. Like they did the very best they could to portray the book and the stories that the guys are telling from the book in there. You go watch Masters of the Air, it's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
It's a train wreck.
Yeah. The Pacific, like with the old breed. It was with the old breed, and what was the
if you compare Masters of the Air, the book, to the actual like TV show, it was horrific. It wasn't good.
Horrific in what way? Like it just left shit out, or it's just
they left like important pieces of information, like key and pieces of information out because it didn't fit the dialogue that the director was going for.
I think
with Band of Brothers, they put everything in there. The nitty-gritty details, this guy's blowing up here, this is happening here. They took, pieces from actual battlefield records and recollections from veterans. For this other thing, it's just like they just tried to make a non-fictional historical movie out of a book that was a non-historical fiction book.
Yeah.
So they tried to make a fiction out of something historical, and it just doesn't. It's like, and I'm going to say this
question, Morgan. If you hadn't read the book,
it would have been fine. It would have been fine. It would have been fine. Yeah, it would have been fine. But having read the book and then watched the movie, I was disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bomber War, like the Air War, was super fucking complicated, and it's hard to break down. Really.
Yeah.
Like it's nice to follow one group, but
would be difficult.
Well, you're following a wing, right? So you're following like 25 or 30 planes, and the guys in it have their own recollection of what happened during specific drops. And so when they have like a momentous thing that happens in the book, they go through the story of like this guy's telling his point of view, this gunner over here is telling what it looked like when the bombs were dropping here, the captain and the pilot, they get like this viewpoint from a bunch of different people. In the TV show, it was that, but they just made a bunch of shit up. Well, that's not true. They took stuff from other sources that weren't in the book. And they didn't use the book sources, which was the whole point of this entire thing, is that you're trying to get direct recollection from the guys. And I think part of the problem was by the time they came around to do that movie, or that TV series, a lot of the guys that were a part of it were dead. So they couldn't get that firsthand experience like they got with Band of Brothers, like they got with the Pacific, where they did actual sit down. You guys remember watching this? Yeah. You go back and watch it, and it's like you've got this breakdown of everything that happened. Like anyway, so I think that was probably part of the problem too.
Yeah, and they don't tell you who they are until like the very end.
Right.
Like, this is actually blah blah blah.
So you can never figure out like, I'll know this guy survives.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't know who the veterans are because they're fucking old as shit. You can't tell who's who. Yeah. Like some of the ones you can kind of tell with like an accent. Like I figured out like who's the one that was like a big New York accent? It was like Joe Toy or something like that.
Yeah, you could figure out like it's either him or the other guy with the New York accent. Yeah. And then when the one guy dies, you're like, okay, it's got to be this guy. You know what I mean?
Or the guy with the big Southern accent, like that was obviously Bull.
Right.
Yeah. But like I think with the Air War, you also had insane casualty rates. Right. So like you couldn't like have a character, like you could have like a main character, but like a lot of like supporting cast were probably gonna die, I think there was a book written by a British bomber pilot. It was like in the middle of the war. He wrote it and then immediately went off on a mission and died. But he talked a lot about like the anxiety of like, you can't really like get close to people because like most people you're gonna talk to might die the next day, like it's
the life expectancy of bomber crews flying missions into Europe was 11 missions. That was the average life expectancy.
Yeah, and I think there was one where it's like they got to the 25 they needed to go home, and they're like, "Oh, actually, you need one more."
We didn't count one because it didn't get logged. They go out and then they all die, and you're like,
Fuck.
Well, that's
I'm pretty sure that's a movie with George Clooney. But like there's that scene I keep seeing on.
Catch-22 has that.
Yeah.
That's really good. Catch-22.
This is a pretty good
the
Reddit
book about that. I've read.
War College. I've been on this Reddit subreddit a few times. It's pretty interesting. It varies by platform, by country. The statistics were uniformly bleak. The Museum of the U.S. Air Force cites that during 1943, only about 25% of the crews in the 8th Air Force completed their tour of 25 missions. The remaining 75% were killed, captured, or wounded too severe to finish up their tour of 25 missions. The RAF had longer tours of duty, 30 missions, and saw a death rate of nearly 50%.
Well, they did night bombing.
Yeah. How funny! It's like, they can't meet their missions. Like, let's just increase it. It's like, dude, this isn't really a issue. It's like, just check it out.
Yeah, and this is
movie
interesting
was
too.
run up in the 90s, Memphis Belle. It was pretty much based on that, where it was sort of I can't remember one of the leads, maybe Matthew Modine, but yeah, Memphis Belle was a bomber, US crew, and they were trying to get to their 25th mission, and it sort of does the build up, and then they go on their 25th mission, and that's sort of the exciting bit. But there's all these other people, sort of like Chirin and Mon, are on their second and third mission, and the gap between the next best to them was 15 missions. So it sort of highlighted how high their attrition was.
Yeah. Well, it's a crazy time because they had dudes who would die if they were in the ball turret, and there's they had a whole song about it. It's just
Bomber crews, infantry, and tank crews all had high casualty rates, but the chances of survival were higher in the infantry due to not being in a burning or plummeting vehicle and the relative proximity to field medical care. The infantry casualty rate was about 60% wounded or killed, but the death rate was only around 8%. The rate at which U.S. tankers could become a casualty in World War II was 13.7%, according to the American Office of the Adjutant General's report. Of the 49,516 armed forces personnel deployed, 6,800 became casualties, 1,500 were KA, and 3,000 of the casualties were able to return to duty. The casualty chance for a U.S. infantry was 87%. However, the casualty chance for the Air Force was only 57%, but the death rate was 50%.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. Shout out to the Greatest Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if they had EOTechs.
Imagine.
EOTech snake hogs.
Yo, what if they had the 458 Win-Mag Garand?
What if they had thermal?
Well, there is a great movie where an aircraft carrier goes back to World War II and they almost prevent the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Final countdown.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's also that one where the guy goes back to a communist nation and gives him an AK. Those are all.
No, that was the Confederate States.
Confederate States gives him the AK.
You're talking about the Harry Turtledove novel.
Those are
the South.
Those are always interesting thought theories, but.
Which is the Guns of the South is a very interesting book because it's a bunch of white South Africans go back to give them AKs,
right? And
then they go back to the future and realize that Robert E. Lee fought against slavery at the end of it, because he's after the war they won, they turned away from slavery, and they're like, dude, what the fuck? We came back for slaves. You ruined it for us, bro.
So when you read the book at the beginning, you're like, is this a white supremacist novel? And then you get to the end of it, and it's clearly not that. And you're like,
it's a little.
Okay, I'm not disappointed in humanity at this moment because at least the author didn't go full neo-Nazi. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a little it's like a little neo-Confederate lost cause apologia, because it's oh yeah, the Confederates, even if they won, they would have got rid of slavery. We didn't literally fight.
I had to be really careful about how I said that.
Yeah.
Somebody would have clipped that if I said the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's a very interesting novel, I would say.
Well, they talk about
nothing beats
the thought process about that aircraft carrier one was interesting because they talked about how many aircraft are on a typical U.S. Gerald Ford or whatever compared to the aircraft that are on the entirety of the Pacific theater at that time.
And because it's like a Nimitz aircraft, and it's everything. It's like a Marine detachment, a fucking
right. Yeah. They put it together, and the thought process was just a single aircraft carrier could have wiped out or gotten very close to wiping out the entirety of the Japanese.
Pacific. They shoot down the fucking. They shoot down the Zero with a Sidewinder and shit, and it's I played enough War Thunder to know this has happened. The dude's I could fucking get that. I've been up tiered.
The fucking Japanese have been so over-tiered, bro.
Well, the interesting thing along going on that thought process, the interesting thing was how close they were actually able to get. That by the time they got there.
What stopped them? What's the hard bit?
It's the fact that the entire fleet was able to get so close to Hawaii before they debarked their aircraft.
Oh, I see. So it was a race against time as well.
It's a surprise attack thing, right?
So they didn't lose, like they didn't get sunk or anything. Or
no. It was just like we didn't save all the ships because we didn't have enough time to actually get everything in the air in time.
I see, man. That's like the SquadOps mission. That's like you miss out on the tactical thing, but like, did they kill everyone in the end and GG?
Mm-hmm.
Like
right?
The aircraft, because I would assume the United States aircraft carrier.
There was nothing left on the Japanese side. Let me be clear.
Oh, yeah. It would just be such a mismatch.
They achieved some of their goals because there was a surprise round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using some D&D references there.
Rolling that one, and you just didn't know.
Yeah.
I think it would have been tits to see, like somebody should have made the sequel where they stay behind, and now it's fucking, an
Just
MEU
the
is
MEU
storming fucking storming Iwo Jima. They're fast roasting onto the hill, putting the flag up really early, and then just holding it.
This hollow ground, it's not even hollow yet because they're now taking it. Yeah.
Well, it would be an interesting thought process there because it's like, all right, we got to climb a hill. Why do we have to climb the hill? Why don't we just take the helicopter?
We have helicopters.
Well, they could shoot us. Okay, well, we just bomb the shit out of them.
The fuck out of them.
We have
landing. Like it's
we have
thermals and stuff. We have bunker busters. What's the problem here?
We have thermals now. We can spot the guns. The guns can't hide anymore now because we have thermals. We have laser guided munitions. We have fucking night vision. Go in at night. What the fuck are they gonna do? Like
500 pounds. A 500-pound bomb is a great equalizer when it lands 3 feet from the target. Let's be clear.
Every single one of our soldiers has 30-round magazine capacity, and they've been training with this the entire time. Every other dude
and a 249 saw. Let's be clear too.
Yeah.
Right? And the mod is coming back. Right? Imagine that. Right? So it's a full cycle. It's a full cycle. Right?
Something still hasn't changed. It's like, hey, I know that one.
The Marcus that was in Iwo Jima in World War II is somehow on this MEU, right? With this MEU on top of like an MRAP or something, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I know that one. I've seen that one before.
Oh, God.
Yeah, some dude like Carl G's the fucking like bunker, and the dude's like coming up, like, that's cute. Watch this, and just flamethrowers the fucking thing. It's like, everyone's like, all right, you
win this time.
That one. Yeah.
We don't get to, we don't get to have this in the future because they're too fucking cool.
There was a nerf later on. It's a whole thing, bro.
As soon as they realized they were like snipers in nests in trees, there just wouldn't be any trees. That's the thing. Like, it'd be like, okay, how many 40 mic grenades does it take to take down a palm tree? I don't know. Let's find out. Like that would be the game that would be played.
If you hit it right,
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah.
But that's the sort of mentality you got to get to. They're like, oh, they put people in the trees. Let's just make the trees not be there.
Well, one will do, but we do have a full belt of 40.
Yeah.
If they
manage to land like a HIMARS, right, then we're just grid square deleting everything on the surface.
Oh,
like
fucking
by 1 kilometer square.
Get the AP, the anti-personnel HIMARS rocket where it's like 10,000 like tungsten balls.
Cluster bombs? Yeah, it's just cluster bombs. Yeah.
Just raining down on top of fucking Evo, dude. Fuck yeah. Go ahead.
The other thing would be cool is like the machine gunner with the 1919 looking at the fucking 240, and they like both just stare at each other, and then they both have the same fucking Colt 45. Like, oh, sweet!
One's made by Kimber, the other one's made by Colt. Yeah, exactly.
That one looks familiar.
Hey, what's up?
The marksmen are just trading M40 rifles,
Yeah. One guy's got a 1903.
Yeah. One guy pulls out a Springfield, the other guy just shows him an M40A3, just like, hey, have you ever seen an optic like this? No. All right, let me borrow it for a few minutes. All right.
Yeah.
It's
just a bunch of E4 dudes just like stealing fucking like all these old rifles. It's like, what are you doing that for?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, bro.
What was the guy who
just smuggling Tommy guns in their kit?
There was
way cooler. No, they're not.
There was some guy, I forgot who it was. I think he might have been British, but he had a sniper rifle. He's in World War I. He was a Canadian, and they gave him a sniper rifle. for like some mission, and he shot like 8 dudes. He's like, this shit's too. He came right by the ghost of his brother who had died before he left to go into the Western Front, and he gets woken up by his brother, and then he like looks up and decides to like run off after him because his brother like walks away, and as soon as he walks away, a shell detonates in his dugout, which is where the name of the book comes from. But his brother does that for twice for him. I think he like moves him away from a bullet or like some sort of explosion. But yeah, check it out.
Dude,
but I don't think it was a PTSD response because brother was fucking cold. He was absolutely cold with it. He did not.
But there's like the guy that went to. He was the Scottish guy that went into battle with a longbow and a fucking longsword, but he didn't want to pick a regular rifle. Yeah, he's just like, I'm good with this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Yeah. Like you've got flak armor on, and you just take a 700 grain 3-foot arrow to the chest, and you're like, how did I end up in medieval times? I don't know what's happening right now.
A fucking bodkin arrow goes right through it. You're like,
some 6 foot tall, redheaded, Scotsman is screaming at you with a longsword. Like,
yeah,
I don't know,
and a kilt. How you like that, you bastard?
Yeah, it's like somebody using like outdated technology to like circumvent like some super like top.
Well, that's an
level,
interesting thing. That's an interesting thing because the German cops are now reverting back to wearing chainmail.
The fucking chainmail goes so hard.
It's
so fucking hard.
Chainmail because of all the knife attacks.
It's like we're just gonna stab you. Yep. We'll just fucking wear chainmail and we'll still have a fucking gun. Like
chainmail, fucking unfolds G36. It's like I'm good.
It goes fucking hard.
It goes hard.
By the way, I did look up the price of like a chainmail shirt. It's like $600.
That's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Not terrible. So when I go to London, I'm just gonna bring that with me. And I'm dressed.
You need apparently
you need like you need to have you need that Frodo Baggins fucking mithril shirt underneath. You just go, it's like.
But is it body armor or is it just an
No, it's just armor.
No,
I'm
so you gotta use the excuse. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, I just got off the flight and I've watched nothing but Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm just vibing, bro. It's just my vibe, bro.
But there's like a comic. The movies were made in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Not in Europe.
Yeah, but I mean, you're on the plane. You on the plane.
They sound European, though. You sure?
Yeah, that's true.
Sean Bean was in the movie. Did you forget?
Yeah.
It's just like Taiwan and West Taiwan.
I think he's Scottish, right, Sean Bean?
Well, there goes our one Chinese viewer. Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, it's
Xiping. We'll see you next time. Be good.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Konnichiwa.
He's been immediately taken to the
Gomena, sorry,
like,
Xiping. Daijobu.
I mean, so far we've ticked almost everybody off. Like we got the arms industry.
I think
we're tracking pretty well.
Hey, so boys,
it's holding steady at 7. We're fine. It hasn't dipped. We're good. The hardcore, religious nuts have left. We're down to 6. All right, we just finally lost Winnie the Pooh.
Boys trip to Japan when I speak
God.
Japanese.
Well, you can get a breeding visa now. At least that's what Ozzy tells me.
Well, I mean, you know what else I tell you about certain laws as well?
No.
You have to look through.
No.
Do you have to give a DNA sample first? Like, do they have to?
Yeah,
it's just headshots. Like? It's just headshots. That's all it is.
Like,
is there like a little like spermalier? He takes a shot.
Fire. You're gonna have to do the selfies from up here. From up here and shave the Joe Dirt beard off. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. I think you probably gotta provide a
No,
sample,
you
and there's a
go
little
harder,
spermalier
and,
goes like
and-
swishes it around.
Oh, put cat ears on and just duck your head. Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Yeah.
I'm here for my kitten.
Do this.
Fedora.
You gotta do the fingers like.
Oh, bro.
Just as
Kitten
creepy
needs
as
her
possible.
daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, kitten needs her daddy, and she needs her now. Listen here, punk. You don't
Listen,
let me
kid,
see kitten. I'm gonna
Daddy
get
needs you to
angry.
take him to the hospital. He cut himself playing with his sword.
Who's that? There was like a ghost standing behind you for a second, Cap. That was scary. It's your daughter, I know, but that fucking scared me for a second.
I'm losing it.
Uh,
Yeah, can you give me one? Thank you.
Oh God, yeah. So you just like
Oh,
in the back corner, there was just a face that appeared behind you for a
just
second.
like, yeah, perfect. I don't care. Just either one. I'm good.
Anyway, listen here, kitten. Daddy's coming.
Surely we should be wrapping this up soon. Sure.
Somebody's gotta clip that one for sure. I need somebody to clip that. Please clip that.
Are we still doing guns? It's gun episode, right?
Yeah, you're gonna pull something out.
Well, I mean,
why not?
Ozzy, just go down. Just go down to the safe room. You're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ozzy.
Some things out. As long as it's on the next count, you're fine.
Do they have they don't have the AUG with the H bars anymore, do they? The like the 24-inch like.
I haven't seen them. They might be, probably. Somewhere.
This is the SIG 516.
I know we still have that.
Clear?
Oh, that one with your weird canted optic that you put on there?
Weird. Yeah, it's classic.
It's 8 pounds of optic for something that doesn't need 8 pounds of optic.
It's 12 pounds of gun anyway, you know? It doesn't matter. It's nice and balanced.
I think it does.
Yeah.
That was the one. That was the one that you couldn't get to actually sight in, right?
No. I ended up selling that one, which is very funny. Okay. I did fix it first, okay, before I sold it.
Sure you did.
Yes, I did sell it.
Sure you did.
That's 12.
I did.
This is 11, and it has a suppressor on it.
This is. I would probably say this is like 9.5
with the flashlight.
Yeah.
Although
with the can, it's a piston.
I'm kind of upset that we did the gun episode when I'm not home. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we need to do another gun episode. We'll do another one.
I'll be here.
But this is SIG 516, so it's the piston. The piston 110-3. It's the piston SIG rifle with the 10.5-inch barrel and nice SIG suppressor on there. I got it replaced straight in for less than $1,000 for everything. So.
If you find a SIG 552 Commando or just a SIG 552,
brother,
dude, I got cucked so hard because I found 3 and I had like research it and they were all 22s. I was like, I don't want a 22.
Yeah, no.
Like
so SIG came out with the 556, the SIG 556, which is like an American copy. Is just not as good.
Not as good.
I'm running.
I just need to get Morgan's buddy to import one for me. And
I'm running the 70 grain TSXs in that, so that one's probably.
Trying to get anything imported from Germany is going to be next to impossible. Now Austria, maybe.
Switzerland is who makes that one, but there's a company in Texas that imports them. SAN Imports, SAN.
Yeah.
So check them. They might have it.
If you own an FFL and you want a lower that is, you know what? I'll say that offline. Never mind.
Thank you.
That was like really close. We'll say that one offline because it's like a gray area.
Clip the chat. Clip it.
Don't clip it, chat. What did you say?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Morgan?
No one likes snitches, chat.
What is it?
SAN?
No.
SAN Imports?
It's SAN Imports, yeah. SAN.
No, it's not SAN Imports.
It's not?
No, it's not.
Oh, never mind. I'll get it via some other thing.
Yeah, it's SAN Imports for the 552 stuff.
552s, 551s. 55.
Anyway, Colombia, yeah.
Well, that's always a backup plan, right?
Boys trip.
I happen to know somebody who has their pilot's license.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about someone in this chat either.
Oh. I know someone with a pilot's license. I mean,
I would also take the people in this chat. 100%.
Is he a happy person? So
chartering a flight to Switzerland for a gun?
Happy.
Can we do that? No, we probably couldn't do that.
No,
right?
No.
Yeah.
Now the way that you could do it would be to set up an amnesty box. So you set up a container, and I'll explain how I know this. You set up a container
Is this an online conversation?
Yeah, this is perfectly legal, so it's a loophole.
HK is the same thing. They're Connex box full of goodies.
So if you have an FFL and you're an import-export specific federal firearms licensee, you can import guns to the U.S. that you cannot have in the U.S. So there's certain firearms that like HK won't release to the general public or whoever.
Of course.
Russian-made AKs, miniguns, whatever. Right? You can import them as fully functional firearms into a amnesty location, which is it's an import box that exists on U.S. soil, but it's not a part of U.S. soil. So it's like this weird, like esoteric thing where it's meant for paintings and for things that are transferring into the U.S. and then directly out of the U.S. again. It's not meant for stuff that's supposed to come in here to the U.S. But the way the law is written, if you import something to that box and then it's destroyed, quote unquote, it then can be brought in and imported into the U.S. as a parts kit. So we've done all sorts of things through that methodology.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Yeah. As an example, if you wanted to import Chinese-made firearms, you could import them into that box. No, they make some pretty cool stuff. But if you wanted to import Chinese-made firearms into the U.S., we have an embargo against Chinese-made firearms. But you can bring them into that box, disassemble them, destroy the receiver as per the ATF's guidelines and regulations, and then import them as parts kits. And then someone could then have a new receiver made, put the parts kits together, and then manufacture their own firearm that way. Now, the tricky bit is getting around the ITAR regulation, and I don't remember the code, but there's a code specifically referring to how many U.S.-made parts compared to...
Oh, yeah. It's 922R.
922R. So you have to have a certain number of parts if they're for sale. But if you're bringing them in for your own personal use or for the use of a business, and you're not making money off of that object, you can import it however you want. Now, that is not my opinion as a lawyer. That is my opinion as was stated to me by a lawyer, and my opinion personally, given the times that I have utilized such a thing. That is not legal advice. Let me make sure that's codified.
922R means that if you assemble a firearm using like parts kit, you have to have up to at least 9 U.S. made parts in that gun.
Well, it depends on how many parts are in the gun. So it's a percentage of the parts per the gun itself.
AKs I know are 9. So I don't know.
Well, it depends on the model of the AK. The AMD65, for example, has 11 that you have to put in there compared to like an AK-47. But again, it only is regulating what is for sale. So as long as you aren't listing that item for sale, you're importing it for personal use. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Let's get some Howa Type 89s.
That'd be cool.
Honestly, I would be down.
The one I really want is a Stepme Melee.
Yeah.
I really want a Stepme Melee, but they're hard to find parts kits for.
Yeah. You can get the Stepme Ls everywhere.
But it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
I almost...
Discount Frost. Perfect, Londards. Thank you.
Thank you. You can attribute it to the conversation about the same amount. No shade.
That's true.
Oh.
I almost bought a Vepr. Like 2 months ago.
AK or Dragunov pattern or what?
No, AK.
Yeah.
I almost bought one, and I was like, it was clean. It was like nice.
I've heard the new Wassers are actually pretty decent.
And then I was like,
for like under like $1,000 AK, they're actually like pretty well made.
I have a Vepr Dragonob, whatever that version is 762 by 54. Yeah, I have one of those with the original stock and foregrip and all that together. I paid like $650 for it. I think I was seeing them selling Gunbroker now for over $1,200. So that was a pretty good buy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a Vepr and what's the other hard one? The one that's hard to get a hold of. That's like
Mahdi, Egyptian, was it Russian?
No, they had a Mahdi there too. It was Russian. Vepr, the nicer version than Vepr, which
Molot.
Yeah, they had a Molot. They had two Molots there they were both asking like I think like $4,000, and one of those had matching serial numbers. The Mahdi was like a parts kit.
The hard part for those is like when you have a collector that wants those items, you have to have matching serial numbers on the gun, and then you have to have period correct magazines. If you don't have period correct magazines, the guys are like, "This is garbage. This is only worth."
I don't care about that because I'm gonna shoot the
AK mag guys. AK guys and their like mag obsession is fucking insane.
As long as it's a fake light and somebody got cancer building the magazine, that's.
There better been like some radium breaking down in there, like something asbestos in it.
The TISM for the AK guys and the TISM for the, what would you call them? The guys that build like mil-spec rifles, where they like have to have
rifles?
like clone rifles.
Clone rifles, yeah.
The TISM is so close, but they don't overlap. It's really interesting.
Rifle.
Exactly. You know, the guy's like, I built this thing. I waited 27 months to buy the rings. The CAC rings that were specific to this Mark 8 loophole optic. It's like I've got those rings in my trash can. I was going to throw them away, but you're telling me they're worth $800. I guess I'll take them out of the trash can and sell them to some guy that really likes them. I'll go buy three. I'll go buy three, optic mounts that are, infant. Anyway, those guys are always surprised.
Like the other day, I saw an EOTech.
No shade, because it is irritism. No shade, but
no shade. We all have irritism. No, it was an EOTech, like XPS, but it was like obviously the NSN Mark one. No.
Oh.
It was it was an EOTech site. It was like an EXPS, but it was like one of the early ones that had an NSN number, and it was tanidized, which is the tan anodization, and not like Cerakoted or whatever they do nowadays. Right. And it went for like $2,500 because that is clone correct for like a bunch of like early CAG dudes, like SEAL guys.
It's like that, or you have the Emerson CQC6 knives, which were issued to SEALs. It's like those, like the original custom made ones. They go for like $3 or $4 for a knife. It's like, well, the stuff they're making now is just as nice. In fact,
but it's not what SEALs use.
Nicer, right? It's probably a little nicer because it's not, it's not something that he made in his garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The clone community is fucking strange. Let's just say that. No shade.
The interesting thing is these guys are like putting these builds together, and then every now and then it's like on Reddit, I'll throw like a picture of like a rifle that I just thrown together, and I was like, yeah, this is a rifle that we would have used, and it's like an M4 lower with an M16 upper with like a weird, suppressor mount on the front, non-matching iron sights, and the guy's like, "Oh, that's cool. Where'd you build that one off of?" I was like, "I got drunk and started throwing stuff together in my garage. Like, what do you want from me?" I passed off one night for about an hour a golf ball launcher. You ever seen those? Yeah, so I've got a couple of them. The mount on the end, so you basically take your muzzle device off and you put this thing on there, and you can launch golf balls with it.
Yeah.
And I had the guys going, telling him it was a, I think at first I told him it was like a flare launcher or something like that. You'd use blanks to shoot a flare out with. And then I told him it was a blink fire adapter. It just wasn't colored yellow. And the guy's like, no, it's not that. It like the jig was up on that one.
Yeah.
But then I had to explain it was a golf ball launcher because they're like, what is that like a non-finished suppressor that you've mounted? Anyway. Just.
Anyway. Clone guys.
Yeah.
They're
the guys are like in there. I'll take like random pictures sometimes, like shit in bags, and I've got like an MP5 got an MP5 suppressor just laying in a nylon bag, and the guy's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a MP5 suppressor." He's like, why is it in a nylon bag? Because I forgot about it. It's going to go in a safe now. And I remembered that it was in this nylon bag, but I took it off the range like 8.5 months ago, and I put it in the nylon bag, and then I put it back in my garage, which is locked. But if I can't find it, what makes you think a thief is going to be able to find it, right? Like, I
It's
didn't know
just
it was in
funny
there.
because, like, if you're literally telling him you're fucking poor, like, without saying it, like,
Well.
yeah, I just forgot that I had this
Well, it's like,
$2,000 item.
like having this guy argue with me on the internet. He's like, well, they never had RPG trainer rounds in Afghanistan. I was like, I can tell you categorically that they had one. And like, well, how do you know that? And I was like, because I have one that we got in Afghanistan. And I was like, here's the picture of me and the boys. Here's the picture of the RPG trainer that's behind me. It's the same one. He's like, oh, they didn't have those there. And I was like,
well,
how much more
actually,
empirical evidence do you want that there was an RPG trainer round?
actually, your experience that you had was wrong. According to this Reddit post that I made, you suck.
I had to stop
Was
going.
he also
I had to
with,
stop going to those Reddit
same-
posts because I would get rage baited. I think that's they were intentionally doing it. After a little while, I had to stop. I had to stop. I was like, I'm drinking way too much alcohol, thinking about these guys rent free in my head. This is like War Thunder. This is like War Thunder for Fire. He never should return, but sometimes he does. It's the mistress that he should never have.
Some of us. Hey,
I
we all
don't
need our
know. I
lore,
don't know why
dude.
you're saying this.
All right, I need you.
You did this to him.
So we're going 2 hours and 12 minutes on the stream right now, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. But for the next 3 minutes, I need you and Ozzy to do a categorical breakdown of how much money each of you have spent. Fire on War Thunder, Ozzy on Star Citizen. Who spent more money?
I don't want to do that.
Definitely
I don't want to do that.
And Ozzy.
I don't want to do that.
I don't know. Fire has spent a significant amount of money on that game.
Well,
Yeah, how many years
I
do you
think
have
I can.
premium for, and how much is premium?
Fire.
Well, I don't
Fire.
have it anymore.
I'll say how much
What's
I've
up?
spent, and you can say higher or lower.
Sure, buddy. I'll tell you if I can.
$5,000.
On War Thunder?
Yeah.
You spent $5,000 on War Thunder?
About, yeah.
You beat me then on Stars.
I'm logging in, and we'll see if they have like
just under.
transaction history or something like that.
It's over many since like since 2016.
Yeah.
Is that on ammunition or is that
very
like
old
level
game.
of
No,
planes
Golden
up
Eagles
That's just
and
Gold Eagles.
Okay, just
some
for
other stuff.
comparison, for people who don't know, this build is like $4,000. Well, that's like 2.5, 3.
The rifle, the optic on the rifle that I built you is like $3,500.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, let me grab.
As an example.
Yeah. So this one piece is $3,500. So
You could have built that rifle almost for what you've spent on.
Yeah,
almost.
Actually, yeah, this is like an
like over 7 years. Yeah,
$8,500 rifle.
Sure.
7 years ain't bad. I mean, you're playing in a lot, I guess.
That much money. At least I don't have that much money in my cash app from you.
Why would you have more?
All right, so I don't buy anything full price, so I will say that.
Never mind. Shut
so
up.
Everything that I see on here, I'm gonna divide by 2 at the end.
I don't know. That's
60,
pretty generous.
60. I have 6.6 times 26 for Golden Eagles, 1,000 Golden Eagles. So you can't deny that. That's pretty high. 25,000 Golden Eagles. I've done that once. That's $114.
You also sell vehicles, don't you? And then like
I have, yeah, $150 for that. $2. Let's see. 150 Eagles. I've done that in
This
times.
is like
$10.
watching a gambler have to come to terms with how much money he spent on gambling.
Well, again, this has been over how many years?
But you took a 2-year hiatus
minimum.
You know what I mean? You took a year, and then you took 2 other 6-month breaks.
And then somebody gaslight him or fucking got him back into it.
Oh, no! He called her on Christmas.
No. I did. Did I call her on Christmas?
It was New Year's.
You called your ex-girlfriend, and you got into War Thunder in the same night.
Did I call her
Well, yeah,
too?
yeah,
You called her too.
yeah. He's saying it. He's saying
that
as
may
if
have
he wasn't the
been-
person to
that
fucking.
That may
That
have
was Morgan's
been
fault.
my doing. I will say that.
Both of them. Both of
Okay.
them were Morgan's doing. Can't confirm.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
So, Ozzy, what do you got for Star
I got my
Citizen?
friend.
all right. So we're at
Less than 1,000.
we're at $450.
All right, that's not too bad. Though.
$450 here so far. So
In Golden
$450.
Eagles.
That's just in Golden Eagles and other things. Plus 30. Let's see. 450 plus 60 plus 30 plus
Carry the regret.
25, 30, 65 divided by 2. Let's just call that 30.
Rounding down now.
Yeah. The Gold Must Flow pack. I forgot about that one. That was cool. 60. Yeah, let's call it. Plus. It was a good deal at the time. All right.
It was a good deal. Trust me, you had to be there.
It's like it's on sale. It's half off. Well, fire. It says you bought this for full price. It was half off.
I never buy anything for
was
full
half
price.
off.
I have stuck to that since the beginning.
Mantra.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
never
call
buy
bullshit on
it.
that.
No, you don't have to. Please don't. And then four of the bundles on there do not have prices, and I bought them at 21. Let's just call it a 120
$45
for
a
that.
piece. $45 a piece.
$965. So
An easy $1,000. That's fair.
$1,000.
Okay.
Ish.
So
yeah.
Culprit the Degenerate. Check that
Culprit
box.
wins.
Moving on.
God damn it, Colbert.
Oh wait, no, I'm missing some. Sorry, they were at the bottom. All right,
Wait,
so 20
there was
times
another
16.5. Huh? 20
There was another
times
page.
16.5. There was another page. Mr. President, there's been a
There's another
second page. 25 times 13. Plus 40, 120. It's closer to $2,000. That's over. Like how long? That game's 10 years old. You know, $2,000 over 10
You don't have to
years.
justify. You don't have to
I am justifying it. Okay, I'm defensive.
I mean,
let me be defensive.
Spent on
how much?
a
How much is it for?
What do we
How much is it
$2,000.
for the 357? How much is it for
The 357. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
How much is it for
about
a
$2,000.
Python?
It's 44
About
mag.
$2,000.
He's not a peasant.
No,
okay.
Anaconda. We're not going Anaconda. We're Cold Python.
Oh, you're
357.
going Python? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then you are a peasant.
Oh,
Moving on.
Cold Python
go,
is about
it's-
$2,000. So
Then think of it like
Yeah.
that. You know, it spared
Yeah.
you from buying a handgun, and
it
But-
did.
But
Block
did
it
it?
out.
Saved my life. Saved
But
my
did it?
life.
well, let's go with it. Did
All right. We're going to end the podcast on that low note. Lon, you got anything you want to tell us?
Nothing special, mate. Just enjoyed hearing you guys chat about your guns and all that. And here I am sitting back thinking, like, should I tell them about the the air rifle that I own to shoot snakes?
Hey, air rifles are
Absolutely.
great. I
Air
saw a
rifles are really
guy
good.
come into the
I just
store.
want to see a picture of your dog again. That's really what I want to
Yeah.
see.
I had a
Oh,
guy
thank
come
you.
in the store one time with
Yeah.
a $6,000 air rifle.
I actually know a guy. I don't know a guy.
He
Sarah,
put a thermal on it.
my lady friend knows a guy who does bird abatement with air rifles.
Sarah, your
Mm.
lady friend.
Yeah, my
Your lady
friend.
friend. Is it a situationship, or you just don't want to say wife, girlfriend,
He's-
fiance?
he's gal.
No.
Yeah, my gal,
Okay.
my lady.
Okay.
The
Is it?
love of my life.
His
All right.
main squeeze.
Yeah.
My
The
main
the
squeeze.
side pieces. The side
The
pieces
main boo.
honestly crossed, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
The flavor of the month.
Hey, look at that dog. Look at that dog. He just dogging
See?
and shit.
What the
See?
dog
cute.
Dog
doing?
is dog,
That
whatever
is
you
Is
want.
that an Australian cattle dog? Is that?
Yeah, she's across 85% cattle
With the
dog,
red,
15%
blue?
collie.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Good
no,
breed dog.
she's about 10 years old. Just so much energy.
Mm.
Never stops running.
Well, yeah, it's a cattle dog, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till the day they die.
She's smart,
What the
like the
dog
collie,
doing?
sort of collie smart, but like just her enthusiasm and hype sort of overpowers that
Mhm.
sometimes.
Sweetheart.
Kind of like
Right.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
No,
Ozzy's a real
has more
sweetheart.
hair.
You're very ball driven.
Goal driven food. No, he's food. He's
Anyway.
food oriented.
No, he's bald.
Yeah,
Never
that's-
mind. You're missing the joke. It's fine.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
get it.
Well,
but-
let's wrap up the podcast. What do you guys say? Thank you guys for coming out, hanging out, and listening to what has been a fun-filled adventure featuring lots of firearms and lawn darts
Could've been
as
more.
our backup for Frost. Salt, thanks for coming on, driving
Thanks
us
for having
into
me.
the hill that is the autism of firearms. Culper, thanks for pulling things up on the screen. Anybody want to say anything before we cut it?
I don't think it was.
More snacks. Get you some.
Full Python.
They're fantastic.
It might have.
It's just meat and salt, just like me.
He's
Go ahead,
just
Culper.
like me.
No, I was just gonna say it might have been $3,000. I don't want to say $5,000. I might have.
Oh, now you're.
Because it
walking
no, because it
back.
wasn't. I didn't have.
Okay,
I didn't have just one
It's already
account.
out there.
I had other
already out there.
accounts.
It's already out there.
Alright.
$5,000 is a lot of money.
$5,000.
That doesn't track. It's $5,000
it's-
for him to pay for lawyers' fees after leaking
Here's-
documents.
Here's the thing: it's $3,000 US, which is $5,000 Australian. Either way,
Well,
it's
first
$5,000.
off, we use
Yeah.
bottle caps because it's the apocalypse.
Didgeridoos, I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
$1
Thank you guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Say bye.
Full Python. Number one recommended gun to
Wave.
give you a lead mouthwash with.
Wave.
Anytime now.
He's probably
Culper?
already cut it for quite
Jamie?
some time.
There it is.
He's probably already cut it for quite some time.
It went.
Oh, that's interesting. I just got my move goal achieved by waving my arm.
There you go.
I did